What's up?
What episode is this, guys?
15?
15.
15.
Episode 15 with the mood lighting.
Woo! Mood light, special mood light edition. Here we go.
We got a romantic evening tonight.
Brought
What's
to you by
up?
Mondo. What episode? You had my video freeze?
Yep.
Yeah.
What in the fuck?
Good
Call me
start.
back, bro.
Good start.
No, you're
you
good. You're good. You're good.
All right, guys. Off to a great start, as usual. This fucking week, Dylan coming through with the fucking sick win for us this week. Tower of motherfucking Rome.
Romantic.
The entire fucking band. Back from the dead, from the days of fucking MySpace. I can't fucking believe it. Bringing you fresh content straight from fucking, this is the MySpace revival right here.
I think when we first started doing these shows, we wanted to get Tower of Rome on. That was the first band we wanted. But we wanted to make sure we had all of our bugs worked out with
All of our
this.
ducks in a row. We had all of our ducks in a row before we went out for the heavy hitters.
Our duck-sized horses in a row.
But fuck, man, yeah, I'm actually really nervous about this episode.
The thing that you were talking to me earlier, the nervous thing about it is there's no information of them on the internet.
Exactly, that's what I was just about to get into. I was actually talking to Christian earlier, the guy from Math Core Index, and I was like, yeah, man, like, I was like, we're literally just gonna get on and be like, we played a show with you guys once, and
I liked it a lot.
you've liked your band for about like fucking 10 years. I should do a new metal radio show, Chris Denny. We're interviewing Slipknot next week.
You can't see his face tattoo on a new metal radio show, though.
But yeah, so it's going to be difficult because, like I was saying to Christian, this style of music is it's like something that you stumbled across on MySpace. You fucking fell in love with like 5 or 6 songs, and then you've spent your entire fucking adult life searching for this fucking music again. And it's really a niche fucking audience, but at the same time, like, the people who are passionate about this style of music are extremely passionate about it. And it's really difficult to conduct an interview when you can't physically do any research on the band whatsoever. So this week, as many weeks, we're just fucking winging it, and we're gonna have a fucking little chill Skype sesh with Tower of Rome, and I'm fucking elated. I can't fucking wait. It's gonna be dope.
So the way I actually found Josh, this is with my mad Instagram stalking skills, I just hashtagged Tower of Rome, and he posted a thing about he found a CD at Goodwill from one of his friends. So I just kind of pieced one together, and they're like, "Oh, look, the old band."
Isn't that crazy? Because if somebody never donated a fucking Tower of Rome CD to Goodwill, we wouldn't be sitting there talking to them tonight.
Thank you, Instagram Goodwill. Hashtag Tower of Rome.
That's fucking crazy. But yeah. So before we jump all into that, and get all excited. How'd everybody's week go?
Pretty decent.
How's the new job?
You ask me this every week, and it makes me feel like shit because I don't do anything all week. Yeah, I just worked and fucking life, man.
I got glazed donuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh, you gotta come out of that cave sometimes, man. The whole world out there, bro. What about you, Dylan? Working?
Working. I worked 16 hours today at the Ruskin Seafood Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty exciting. I got to watch 60 boats launch into the bay this morning for a fishing tournament.
Dope.
I've got you all beat.
This week I'm still on workers' comp. Still chilling, vibing, collecting that risk money. But nah, basically I needed to get a little extra cash together. So, and I'm honestly sick of sitting at the fucking house. So I called back the auction job I used to work at. So I went out there. Oh fuck! What am I talking about? I got fucking engaged last Monday.
That's
Right?
right. That's right.
Let that slip your mind.
Jesus.
I
Congratulations.
Forgot that I
I,
didn't talk about it on the podcast last week because it happened the day after the podcast. So,
Right.
and you guys
yeah.
are so. Yeah,
I
man.
didn't. I didn't like it or nothing, dude. Or comment, nothing. I just wanted to hear it on here first to make sure it wasn't a fucking joke.
That's
Really?
what said that.
You got engaged on workers' comp? I'm gonna marry you. I do.
I found me a fucking keeper, dude, for sure.
Oh, that's awesome, though.
That actually went through my mind. Like I was kind of like upset about the timing. But, well, like because the original plan was always that, like, yeah, because she's wanted to get married since the second month we've been together. So I was like, when we get a house together, that's when we'll get married. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm not gonna have a fiance that I don't live with. So that's why we both busted our asses so we could get a house. And then we got a house, and there's like an issue with the ring. I couldn't get the fucking ring in time. So the ring comes, and it was just the timing was kind of shitty because I just went through all this shit with my job. But other than that, fucking swimming.
So how did you do it?
Oh, that's a good question.
He's like, I don't want to.
Just tell us that you put it in a piece of fucking pizza, and she like bit into it, and you're like, I'll marry you.
No,
Did you tell her you lost your job before or after you gave her the ring?
shut the fuck up.
Slid it under a slice of pepperoni.
It's,
We're fucking assholes.
I like a week before that. Anyway, no, like I had thought about like 100 different ways to try to propose to her, and we're not really that couple, you know. Like, yeah, I do romantic shit for her, and we have like romantic times, but we're not really the like get down on one fucking knee in the middle of a fucking, I don't know, Outback Steakhouse or something. That's not really us. So
Just tell me it has something to do with Pokemon.
actually, like two of the times I was gonna propose to her, we were playing Pokemon. But no, I didn't do that. Actually,
Chris Diddy said, "Did you put an onion ring on her finger?"
No, I came in here into the office and I queued up our song on the record player,
Which is,
and we're not gonna get into that.
which is.
So I put the song on.
No,
like,
I'm.
so all
I
I have
will.
to do is turn the volume up,
I will hang up right now if you don't tell me what song it is.
and then I just
For real, the people want to know.
and then I called her in here and I was like,
You're an asshole. I'm not gonna let you finish the rest of the story like this.
I was like, Maggie, look at what these fucking rats did, and she came in here and she's like, fucking what? And I turned on the song, and she thought like I just wanted to dance with her or something. She's like, "You're fucking stupid," and walked out of here. And then she turned back around. I got back on one knee, and then she like fell on the floor, like just fell on the floor.
Tim said, "Your song, is this a high school movie?" See, everybody wants to know what's the song, and it better be fucking good with all this anticipation that you've put on us.
It's just funny because it's the we made fun of it last week with.
It's a Korn song. Yes.
No,
Yes.
it's not.
Is it your song is Twisted Transistor, isn't it?
No, it's a Band of Horses song. It's romantic.
That was really not what I was
Yeah, that was,
It's
that was anticlimactic
what
right
do you
there.
think it was gonna be? Fucking Sandstorm? Like,
What band was the song? Josh, will you play it for us for a second?
Yeah, if you give me the name.
What's the name of the song?
I don't remember the name.
You're an asshole.
It's the song or I don't know. Fuck it, man.
I don't want to play it anyways.
A Band of Horses song. Anyway, we're losing steam here, fellas.
No, this is good stuff.
I went back to work at the auction, and I was out there for 12 hours as somebody pressured. Like, there's like 1,800 fucking cars out there that they're auctioning off. So what they do is they get a group of like 5 dudes, and they all hit all these cars with pressure washer, and then they give you a chamois, and you got to fucking like squeegee down a fucking car before the sun dries it, and I had to do that to 1,500 cars. So yeah, that's what I did last week.
God.
Sprinkled in a little bit of pizza, a little bit of Pokemon. Went to dinner at her mom's house tonight. That was about it.
So, did you ask her parents for permission to wed their daughter?
I made sure that they knew that. I made sure that I knew that they liked me before I did that.
That's always good.
Do you like me?
Yeah, like I said, remember I went up to Jessup to meet her dad.
Is he like, boy, what's your intentions?
Kind of, but he's pretty laid back. Like he's a good dude. So yeah, that my week's been pretty fucking interesting to say the least.
Well, congratulations. We fuck with you, but
Yes, sir.
nothing but love, dude.
Thanks,
She's
man.
a positive influence in your life.
For sure, definitely, 1,000,000 fucking %. Yeah. So we got any other news? Like, what's going on?
I got my paycheck, my first paycheck.
Hello.
Yeah, well, it's good, but they didn't give me my pay rate right,
Oh.
which is fucked. So technically, I'm getting another check on Monday, which is awesome. So I'm getting paid twice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's great. But yeah, they shorted me like $2 an hour, which happened to the guy that they hired before me and the guy they hired before him. So once I found that out, I was like, okay, so it fucking happens to everybody. So I wasn't so like worried about it. So
That's the HR department, man. HR.
yeah, dude, it's like, dude, they don't communicate well enough to payroll. So it's like, what the fuck? I signed this paper saying how much I'd get paid, and that was pointless.
With these fucking workers' comp guys too, man. They were supposed to give me a fucking check on Saturday.
What do you get, like 66% or 66.5% of what you are supposed to make?
Yeah, so I get a check for like about $300. But the way it works is you don't get the first week's check. And then if you're on for over 30 days, then they throw that first week's check on there. So this was my 30-day check or whatever. It's like 20 something days. It's not 30, but so this was the one that's 2 weeks check. So I should be getting like $500 and something.
So is the hand you hurt the one that you talk with, or is it the one resting on your lap?
It's my prominent hand.
So you naturally talk with your left hand?
No, I've been not using my right hand, so I'm learning to do stuff with this one. It's weird.
That's really weird, because I can never like talk with my left hand.
I feel like I'm conducting an orchestra.
I usually don't talk with my hands.
Yeah,
I don't know what to do with my hands.
You don't talk, period.
Yeah.
Well, they're ready whenever we are, so.
So,
we are definitely going to need help with this one tonight. I know we got some viewers. We're going to need help. We're going to need people to call in and ask questions.
Yeah, or ask questions in the chat. That helps too.
Don't leave us hanging, man.
Yeah, don't fucking leave us stranded.
Yeah, because we're fucking amateurs.
But we got our horse-sized ducks in a row, so we're good.
So, yeah, it should be interesting. They all said that they're drinking wine anyway, so we get to see a fucking Tower of Rome wine party tonight.
At 8 o'clock Central Time.
I still think we need to do that Shed for You fucking jacuzzi interview.
I agree.
The interview take 2. So
if they thought the interview was awkward, just get us all in a fucking jacuzzi with them.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Let's get
first. Just all right. We already got a question for Tower Rome. Just right off the bat, be like, "Hey, reunion."
That's all it ever is. That's all it ever is. It's like we get a band on that's not together anymore, and then 100 people in the fucking comments is like, reunion. When's the reunion happen? Why'd you stop touring? When are you gonna tour again? When are you coming here? Like, let's see that be the last. The last question is.
How about we don't ask? I think all of them are already in bands, like currently in bands.
Well, I can't wait to find out about that. That'd be fucking sick.
I know the singer's in sore spot.
Let's give him a
Josh?
call.
Yeah,
Chris
give him a
Dick says, "Yeah." He says, "Yeah, we'll see about that."
Oops.
About the jacuzzi.
Are you ready?
Tower of Rome.
Oh. What's up,
Yo,
guys?
What's up?
Hey.
how's it going?
Good. How's it going?
Maybe you guys should lower your camera a little bit. All we see is foreheads.
Radiant.
Which is cool with us if that's what you guys want to do.
Yeah, that's what you guys are into.
Fucking close. Hold on. Close that thing. See what this. Hold on. We're leaving. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Hey.
It's okay, guys. I don't want to give you some like professional impression because that's not what we are here.
Yeah. Well, we don't need. This is the first time second time I've ever used this in my life. So.
I think this is the 14th time I've ever used this mic. So, okay, let's start off with telling everybody who you guys are individually, and then we'll get into some stock shit, and then we'll just talk shit. Sound good?
Shit. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm Josh. I did vocals. I'm Aaron. I was the drummer.
I'm Mike. I was the bass player.
I'm Tony. I was the guitar player.
Well,
And our biggest fan, Tommy, is sitting off camera over there.
Tell Tommy to sit right there between Aaron.
I don't know. You're gonna have to tell Tommy to get in line because you got some pretty big fans over here. Like we've literally been. We can't even explain like how excited we are to have you guys on. Like before, I don't know if you guys were watching the live at all before, but basically we were talking about how like this weird MySpace time of music when a band would blow the fuck up off of like 4 songs and no one would ever know anything about this band besides these fucking 4 songs, you know?
Yeah.
And it's such a fucking bizarre concept, and you know, we've talked about it in past shows and stuff, but
We actually, I think like when we first got, what blew us up was, what was it? Hardcore MP3. So it was even before we had MySpace. Like we recorded a really shitty demo and we put them on hardcoremp3.com. You remember that?
Yeah. You
And,
and Mike stayed up for like 48 hours putting shit on there.
Because we couldn't figure out how the internet works. And so we got this song on, and there was like a really great response, and it was interesting because I think it was before like the MySpace explosion of bands happened. But on Hardcore MP3, I remember there was bands like Sawtooth Grin, Bodies in the Gears of the Apparatus, basically any of those bands that were from that time. And so that's how we kind of blew up. And then when we got on MySpace, you know, it's funny. It's just crazy to think how the social media website like helps so many bands and also like blew up a lot of really shitty ones.
it doesn't exist anymore at all. Like,
Yeah,
it's
no,
it's
totally.
off the face of the planet. Like we're all so just as like we relied on MySpace as much as we rely on Facebook today, and it's just gone. It's sad to me, honestly. But yeah, actually, speaking of Sawtooth Grin, I've been reaching out to fucking Rich trying to get him to come on the show as well, but I have had no response from him yet. So I'm really hoping for that one as well.
Yeah,
I always remember them being hard to get a hold of.
yeah, they were like
Yeah, they
really
were.
hard to get a hold of back in the day. I remember hearing that they were like supposed to get back together recently. Like, when I say recently, I mean in the past 5 years. But like,
It's pretty recent.
that's a band
Yeah.
that like has a huge following still too. Like, I can't remember. There was some website, and I was record nerd, and I had posted because I'm a dork, and I posted all my records online, and some kid like offered me like $90 for the Sawtooth Grin CD, and I was like, oh, I'll keep it. But yeah, it's just crazy. Like, you know, I guess I think as everyone else was kind of surprised that anyone would want to interview us.
Yeah. But thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just because
thank
it's
you.
like it's so hard to think about. You know, I mean, we were together for 5 years,
I think 5.
and it just seems like ages ago. You know, like when this is the first time I think that we've really been in a room all together in a long time. And before this happened, we actually just were going over funny stories and stupid shit that we used to do all the time. And
See, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying.
We're
Yeah.
trying to make new memories.
right, yeah. So like, it's just
We're-
crazy to think
We're
about.
trying to produce a content from the shit that has no content, because it was the time of where we went to shows and saw them and remember them, but we didn't post them all on fucking line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now what I want to do is I'm trying to get all these people back together. And honestly, I would much rather interview a band that I was thoroughly obsessed with for fucking 10 years that, you know, not a lot of people know about, but are a fucking amazing band, and be able to kind of push people back into it, because one day that's going to hopefully push you guys into making music again.
It's funny, you know, that something that we were talking about just before we did this, like, you know, it's been years and I'll still like run into people, or my old job, I was just telling them how somebody had found out that I was in this band, and they were like, dude, like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah, you know, I thank you, you know, but like, it just seems like so long ago. So I guess it's nice to know that people are still interested. And plus it got all together in a room again. So that's pretty rad too.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. Well, I'm glad that Dylan could put that together. I'm not even going to take credit for this one.
I didn't put it together. Josh put it together.
What?
I had nothing to do with it.
We all worked together. We made it work. So that's cool.
I read a funny question in the comments. He's like, I want to know what current stocks they're following. It's like all he
We're all-
cares about.
But we're severely not successful.
Yeah.
We still did the same thing we did when we were together. So
More or less.
more or less.
So did you guys just stop playing together and join other bands just due to lack of interest, or what happened?
Well, you mean like how did the band? Do you want to know how the band stopped?
Tell the whole story, man.
It's your story. This is the Tower Foam hour.
we never broke up.
No,
We never like broke up. We just
Yeah.
we played a show, and then after that we just didn't play anymore.
What was the last?
The
So it was
last
kind of like an unannounced like last show. And it was honestly it was really nice because it was at Dude Fest in Indianapolis, which was
Oh yeah, that was
for a
Pig
long
Destroyer
time,
and-
was just like who played that one?
Pig Destroyer.
Big
Posters right
Destroyer, Ampere played, which is pretty cool.
Trap Down, Phoenix Body.
Yeah, a bunch of bands. The posters right up here.
That's amazing that the poster's right there. We got
Gaza fucking played, which is pretty cool. He
That
Corrupts.
ended up being a really insane show. I just remember playing that and just be like, holy shit,
But it
this is like an insane show. Like, people were
Yeah.
just like,
There's a ton of people from all around the area, like the whole like Midwest region too, that we knew. So it was like a bunch of our friends were there, and it was a super fucking awesome set, and it was so much fun for all of us. And then after that, we just didn't play anymore.
Well, what's funny is a lot of the bands that we've been interviewing, we mention you guys, and all of them know who you are. Like Psyopus, See You
Yeah.
Next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the other one? It was shit, I can't think of it. But yeah, everybody knows who you guys are, so that's pretty smooth.
yeah, it was, you know, it was just a weird time back then. You know, the whole story of how the band got together was just like, if you guys want to hear that story,
Yeah.
but
Please.
the three of us, not including Tony, were in a really bad screamo band.
Glory hole in the band.
And when the one guitar player wanted to go like more like acoustic singer-songwriter thing on his own, and we kind of split off, and we wanted to go like way harsher. We had all been into that stuff. So we started playing in that band, and that's kind of how it developed. And what was the point I was even trying to get to with this? How we became to get a band, but we started out as a 3-piece, and then Tony was in a band locally called Number 6, and they had broke up recently, and he was just like, "Hey, can I be in your band?" And that's basically just how it started. We started the band, I think, because we wanted to play fast, we wanted to play blast beats, and we wanted to play like super heavy shit. 2003 maybe.
2003 is when it started.
And
There you
but
go. Chris.
never like, I don't know. It's gonna be weird to say,
Like,
but like we were
kind of like winter, like December into January. So like 2002 into 2003 is right when it all started happening.
but we were like never into, I feel like, the scene that we kind of got bookended in, you know, like we weren't really big into like the MySpace grind bands, whatever that term was. Like and you know, like people, like when we'd play, we just wanted to play really fast and then slow.
Right.
And people, I think we'd play shows and they were expecting to like have more breakdowns and stuff, and we're like, no, we just want to play like super fast 30-second songs, you know. And so we would like never were, I don't know, it's weird, like you say like all these bands in the US, but like I always feel like we were never accepted on both ends. Like we were never accepted in like grind scene, and then we weren't accepted in like the like kind of MySpace grind scene, and like there was always, you know, surprisingly, like there was good times, but there was also a lot of like shit talking that always happened. And
That came mostly from the hardcore scene, though.
yeah,
For me, it was more like you guys, Sawtooth, Robinson, the Daughters,
That was the name of them. I couldn't
fucking
remember.
like Ed Gain, me and him call it us. Like that's the kind of shit I'm referring to when I say MySpace shit. I don't mean like Dr. Acula and shit like that.
No, yeah.
Jesus.
So like,
That stuff all came way later, anyways.
but
Yeah,
sorry.
when we started, we just wanted to be like, I think our biggest influences were like As the Sun Sets and Discordance Axis and Jenny Piccolo and Pig Destroyer, and we kind of just, I think we got taken into that scene because we weren't accepted in like the Chicago hardcore scene, so like we just kind of went with it. And we were always surprised, like when we'd show up to these shows and people expected us to not be who we were, which were like a couple of shitbags. We, you know, there was like a certain look that a lot of bands at that time had, and we just didn't fit into the mold. So,
Which also made it kind of cool because we always ended up playing different types of hardcore shit. Like we play grind shows, we play, like you said, straight edge hardcore shows where you don't fit in whatsoever, but everybody's kind of playing a similar thing. So
yeah, for sure.
I know the show that you guys played in Tampa. All three of us were actually in a band called, yeah, that's the flyer right there. Tower of Rome. We were in Bear Fight and Shed for You.
I remember.
That was
that was at the gallery.
Dude, I have
right
that
on the
Shed for You
strip.
tape
Do you remember
still.
that? Because we got the room and
That I
then we
picked
went
up
to
at
the
that show.
Yeah, I still have the Shed for You
Gallery
records.
Strip.
so we actually interviewed Tower of Rome. That was probably our second or third
No, you're
interview
talking
that we
about
did
that's
here.
you.
And they're actually going to be playing a reunion show because of the interview we did with them.
Oh wow.
Oh, cool.
Hint,
That's-
wink.
Chris Denny from Shed for You is actually watching right now.
Yeah, dude, Shed for You is watching.
Nice. What's up, dudes?
I just remember that show that we played with Shed for You in Tampa was like such a bizarre situation because it was just a crazy experience. But I remember we walked to like the beach. Was that the same fucking one? We walked to the beach at like 3 a.m. and like we didn't realize that there was
went out?
I don't know.
That was when our brakes went out.
But there was a bunch of giant roaches in the sand. I remember we were like freaked out about that. We're like, oh, the beach sucks. But I think that Shed for You show, I mean, I remember watching them and just being like, I thought that they were amazing, and their drummer was insane. Like, he was just amazing. And I think I'll never forget.
That night we went back to their house and he made this whole fucking grind song on a keyboard, and it was like a beautiful pop,
Fuck Roger.
like orchestrated. You guys remember that shit?
No.
Dude, he set it up. He like did the drum part. It was super weird, and then he just hit the demo button, and it was just blast beat, but with the demo from the keyboard. It was beautiful.
Yeah, they were really cool. I want to say that.
The guitarist was all right.
What's that?
The guitarist was all right. The guitarist was one. Yeah. It's funny.
I remember one of the funniest moments that I still think about and laugh happened at that show, which is one of the opening bands was like a super like chugged out like metalcore band, and some kid was there like spin kicking, and his fucking shoe came off when he was like in the middle of a spin kick.
Was that Bug?
What's that?
I think that was our buddy Bug.
Oh, well, like, it literally, like, he spin kicked and the fucking shoe, like, with the, like, it, like, flew so fast off of his foot. Like, literally coasted to the very back of the bar and it smashed a bunch of bottles, like, off the fucking, and I will, like, to this day think about that and I'm in tears because I'm like, I've never seen anyone, like, kick their shoe
really funny,
across
though?
the room.
You guys are that kid's favorite band, sir.
Oh, that's amazing.
So,
I am mixing. I think I am mixing the shows up because the show that was the first show with Shed for You in Daytona. We played with them. That show that you just showed the flyer of, I just remember that we were staying with this really awesome guy.
Wasn't that at the skate park?
In Tampa who set up a show for us. Wasn't that the same thing?
Matt Wells, probably.
Was it a skate park?
Yeah, skate park.
Yeah. And I remember that some kid who was there to see our band was like super hyped. And some girl that he knew was there, and he like did a running jump, and he like smashed her fucking windshield out. You remember that? Yeah. And like everyone was like,
She's literally watching right now too.
I remember.
I'm sorry I laughed. I'm sorry.
Like I remember that.
Wow.
Like we were like, oh my god, you know.
Dude, that was
And she wasn't even all that mad about it, and the dude who did it like just was like totally not mad about it, and everyone else was just kind of like, oh, this is just, you know, that's just us hanging out. And I'm like, dude, they fucking bust windshields out down here.
That was Bug did a front flip onto Megan's windshield and broke it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they had to drive home like Ace Ventura.
And I was just thinking, like, dude, how is she gonna go? Oh my god, that was cool.
That is fucking phenomenal that you guys remember that shit. That is so
I know. It is. It is phenomenal.
I think for as like drunk as we were all the time, it's surprising that, you know, we are alive and then that we've, you know, I think us on the road, you know, we were a band for a long time before we started actually like touring, and when we got to that point, we like, you know, you're young and stupid, and we just like quit our jobs and we're like, well, going on tour for 2 months.
I dropped out of high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's, and we're paying for it now.
So like, what was your guys' favorite tour that you did?
The
Probably the
first
first
one
one.
would Stand Before the
The
Firing
month by
Squad.
ourselves was really fun. I feel like
That was good.
there were some weird times, but it was fun.
The
for
one
most
with
part.
Stand Before.
Stand Before was good.
Because we clicked with them. Like,
Did we go out on your own? Oh, we
yeah,
did.
yeah, we did. Yeah.
Dude,
What was the
that's-
first one?
We
Was
should
it
ask them if they
Stand
know
Before?
about that band.
Well, we played with the first one was Stand Before,
Yeah.
and then we did with.
Do you guys know Stand Before the Firing
See You Next
Squad?
Tuesday for like 3 shows. Then we just joined
That's a
different
California
bands.
band.
So we were
Uh,
introduced to them by the guy from.
Oh,
You guys remember a band called From a Second Story Window?
Yeah. Yeah.
Derek from a second.
So their original guitar player.
It's like the guitar player on the records that came out first, which I feel like are like just the demo, and then like the Metal Blade record that came out.
No, it was Black Market.
Black
Activity.
Market
Market
Activities.
activities. Yeah, they wanted us to.
Derek
he got
played
contact
guitar
with
in
us.
that band.
Yeah.
He knew this band from California called Stand Before the Firing Squad, which he was also interested in. And he hooked us up on a tour together where I want to say, didn't they just drive out straight from California?
They
Yeah,
drove straight
yeah.
out from California, started out by us.
They drove out from California straight through to Highland, Indiana, where we were at the time.
They had like a pillow-sized bag of pot with them.
Yeah.
It's like it blew my mind, and they were hiding it. They were hiding it in the snare
It was like,
drum.
yeah, it was like 2 snares.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy shit.
But those guys,
They drove all the way out, and then we started a 2-week tour that went out to California, and I believe didn't they stay
And then
behind?
they stayed in California, then we took a week back home.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt a lot longer, but
It's
Well,
about-
it was like 2.5 because we stayed out in California for like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah,
Remember we
that's
went to
right.
San Fran
Right.
and all that?
So it was like a 2.5 week tour, and we did like a week and a half out there, and then a week back without them. But that was a great tour. That was our first tour, pretty much all of us.
So
Ever.
what would you say is like, what is like one of the weirdest moments that has ever happened on a tour?
There's a
Well, I was gonna. That's funny because one of the questions I was gonna ask the
What
dudes was,
category do you want?
do we ever get pulled over driving? Ever?
no.
Not driving, no.
All
We
right,
only got
so,
pulled
all right.
over a
Oh,
city.
Rhode Island.
That's what I'm talking about.
That
wasn't
So
the
here's
weirdest, though.
but it's pretty fucking weird, dude, and it ends up being funny because the cop let us fucking go.
Yeah, I guess.
So the only time we ever got
Aaron
pulled
got really
over,
mad at us.
we were already pulled over. We were
Wait.
just-
So have you ever been to Rhode Island before? Or
No.
Providence, Rhode Island?
No.
So
Well, apparently
the city
just-
is split into two.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a river, and then one side is complete ghetto, the other side is like $2 million houses. Like, you stand on one side, you're like trying to like avoid barbed wire, and you're looking at like a mansion in front of you. You know, like that's just how different it is.
Yeah, we had no idea.
And we were on the wrong side of that river, apparently.
Yeah.
According to him.
But we
So-
were just we
according to
were
that police
parked.
officer.
We were
We-
fucking
We were
parked.
parked waiting for the show to
We
start,
showed up
like
to
an
the show
abandoned
like
house.
mega early, and it was at an abandoned house and in Rhode Island on the side that you're apparently not supposed to go to. And so we're sitting out on the side of this house because we don't have anything else to do for like hours.
That's a really good show.
And
Sick.
oh my god, do we want to tell this whole story?
We almost got arrested.
Yeah,
We almost got arrested.
Police came.
the cop showed up and he was really cool with us.
And then he got really not
And then he
cool.
got super not cool because he thought we were lying to us. And
And
the
then
reason
we
it's
came,
funny-
we didn't have AK-47.
the reason it's funny is because I had to like plead with this cop. Well, that's later, but like, so he pulled up and I'm like, oh fuck, there's a cop. Might have been smoking weed, but
There
like,
was a lot of weed smoking going on.
so
But he wasn't even upset about that.
he like got out of the car and he came up to the door and we were trying to play it cool and like everything wrong that you could imagine going wrong when a cop pulls you over happened. But he ended up being super cool and he did the whole like, hey, I was in a band too, guys. You know, like I'm all about this shit. So like, he was like, let's play a joke on your guitar player and let's act like he's getting arrested and I'm gonna confiscate your van and all your money and everything
That's
that we
a
had.
sick joke. Why did he? That's fucked.
We thought it was
It's
like,
the only way we can become free.
yeah.
He
So
took us out of the van one by one and
Yeah.
isolated us all.
he
Yeah.
isolated us. He kept me in the van and then he brought them and he handcuffed everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he brought
No
Except
shoes
you.
on,
except me.
fucking-
He didn't handcuff Aaron. He handcuffed all of us. Though.
So he took Josh and Mike back to the van.
Why
He's
don't
like,
you
"Hey,
get a
let's play a
shirt on?"
joke on your guitar player. Let's act like he's gonna get arrested, and then it'll be huge and funny." So something happened during this conversation, and as it turned out, he was very upset with us because he thought we were yet lying to him. And then he came and said, "Actually, I am arresting all of you. Like, this is fucked. Everything I said that was a joke is not really happening. I'm taking, we're confiscating the money of the van." And we're going to arrest your guitar player, and he's going to be sitting in jail until he goes to court. And we're like, fuck. So like, I'm pleading with this cop, and finally he's like, just let us go.
Yeah, I don't know why he just did.
And being like, being
Oh
some
my god.
the suburbs of Chicago, like we didn't really experience a lot of that then, So like, there's a lot more to the story that makes it much scarier, but it's just like that was terrible. That was like the worst moment I've ever had on tour.
That
Let's just
seems like a fucking tactic. Like he's like, we're gonna act like this is all a joke.
No, he was
We're
super
gonna
cool.
confess about some weed or some shit. Like,
Yeah, no, he was super cool, and then he just thought he was being
That was one of the
funny,
weirdest
and then
situations.
because we didn't know that,
him making us
Yeah.
do that.
because
Yeah,
Tony
that was
didn't know he
fucking
was
weird.
that's what I'm
joking,
saying.
Tony
We had no
told
choice.
him some things
Yeah.
about what was going on, and then like, well, I am really arresting you. And I'm like, why did you say anything? Tell me, like, why did you say anything?
He told me it's all the truth.
So- So I basically sat and pleaded with this cop, and I was like, look, like we're fucking idiots, like we don't, we're just let us. I mean, come on, like whatever. And after pleading with him for like
Give him a
15
hand job in the
minutes,
back of the
there was a
van.
little bit of that too, and like then he let us go, and he told us to get the fuck out of Providence, and then we said we're playing a show. He said, well, get the fuck out and come back when your show starts. We got to the venue. There were people who lived at the house, and for some reason they just didn't answer the door when we were knocking. And they're like, yeah, we saw the police like almost arrest you guys, and we're like, why didn't you just let us in?
Yeah.
Super Troopers.
Yeah,
You
seriously.
can't pull over any farther.
Yeah. It was literally a moment like that.
So, I guess I wanted to ask you about, like, since the only thing I can find on the internet besides, like, your music, like, the only video I can find at all is that one that's, like, in, like, a school or a rec center.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was at DePaul
DePaul
University.
What's the
DePaul
story
University in
behind that?
Chicago.
What's that?
What's the story behind that?
There was people who went to DePaul and they used to set up shows in like a classroom that wasn't used. And like, I mean, it was like, I think it was a collective. There was like a couple people and they did all types of different music, but we played there a few times. It was just
They
really,
did shows for a while.
yeah, they
Yeah,
did
wow.
shows for a while. It was really awkward though, because like you're in a classroom with bright lights and it's just, so that's why that show is looking very weird. I was really sick at that show, and as soon as we were done playing, I went outside and threw up all over the ground. That was fun. But yeah, that was. I can't believe that video is actually still on YouTube. Actually, I think it's like
threw up after one each.
yeah, there was a lot of vomiting usually, but
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I really hope that there's a way that out of this there could be like somehow like a resurgence of live videos of us, because I've only ever really seen that one too.
That's what I'm saying.
Just a couple other like clips and stuff, like random clips, but they've just disappeared.
Someone posted one from the Muse the other day with Evan.
oh
Really?
yeah, wow,
yeah,
that's
where
interesting.
was that? Like, where did I?
Well,
see
I
it?
will say it won't be hard to find this video because when you type in Tower of Rome, like 3 videos pop up. So,
Yeah. There was always, yeah, I know that people have recorded them, and in fact, I remember a show that we played in very South Florida when we stayed with that guy, and I cannot remember his name, unfortunately, but he was super nice. Eric was his name. He had a studio in his house, and he set us up for like no bands would ever go. No, what?
Eric passed away.
Oh.
The guy from Florida. Yeah.
Jesus, well,
R.I.P.
we just found out some bummer information, but so we were actually just talking before we started this about another fan of ours that died. I think a lot of people aren't with us anymore, unfortunately, but so he set us. It's all the way in like the southern tip of Florida, and he's like, "There's a venue down here. If you come down here, I'll make it worth your while. I'll put you up. My mom will cook food for you. Like, it's gonna be awesome." And we're like, "Yeah, this sounds kind of rad." So we went down there, and it was a really cool show. Do you remember? And like, he set it up to where he had a webcam on, so you can actually like log on and watch it. It's recorded, and we actually have the audio recording. And we were gonna release release ourselves a live set called the Eddie Gobo live album, because our friend
Eddie Gobo live EP.
Our friend Eddie from Chicago just happened to be randomly in Florida and came to our show. But that was a really awesome show, and that exists somewhere. And there are many shows I'm sure that exist somewhere, but it's like there was no cell phones, like there were no people like recording shit on their cell phones.
Right.
And there was
Stand
no.
Before would have almost that whole first tour. I think
Yeah.
they recorded every show.
And we were just saying the guy from Stand Before the Firing Squad, he recorded like every show that we played on that first tour, which was like
Colin.
an insane tour. We did really well.
Derek.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know. I think a lot of them have disappeared too. There were always like a lot of like people singing along to our songs like in their living room, which were always funny. Like 14-year-old girls with like green hair like screaming along to our.
Weird.
And then there was like an air guitar one with like 2 guys like fake playing guitar to our song. Those were always entertaining.
I believe I saw it in it was like a mosh compilation video. It was like people moshing in their living room, like just filming themselves moshing
Yeah.
themselves.
What a weird time.
Yeah. That's a weird thing to do.
For sure.
I mean, that's a pretty strange thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Like, let me queue up this
But I'm happy
CD
to
on
do
the
it.
computer.
I'm really happy.
Bro,
I'm happy.
You gotta practice your technique, man. You gotta practice
Yeah, I
it.
know.
And the only way you
You
practice
gotta get feedback so you know what you have to present when you're there in life.
What was that one shit, that the gay legging, where you pull your pants up all the way and
Oh,
you remember that? No.
It's like a donkey kick, but you pull your gym shorts up to your tits. It's called.
I never knew any of the moves.
Demonstrate, Nicholas.
Do you remember fucking
I remember I would do as much as possible to just tell everybody to do the goofiest stuff.
Yeah.
So,
We tried to get people to do like.
Yeah, we would do
What was
always
the
like
football
like
thing?
Wall of Dad.
encourage wall of death. Like we just wanted people to hurt themselves, and we wanted to hurt
Wall of Death
themselves.
was
what the fuck was it with Deathball?
I encouraged cartwheels.
Yeah, there was a lot of those.
I want to say there was a game called Wall of Death, which involved everybody lining up and just charging each other while we were playing a song,
Yeah.
which was always fun because it wasn't dancing around like goofballs. It was just people smashing into each other.
Or the other one where it's like your friend holds your legs and then lifts you up, and then you're
I
going.
called like chicken.
What the fuck is wrong with people? Like,
Yeah, I know.
It was a fun time.
but that's just that genre, man. Like, it's unfucking describable. Like you can sit and put 18 different genres together and try to put a label on this MySpace time era of weird, grindy, spazzy, techie, mathy metal or whatever. But at the same time, it's like it's not a set fucking genre. It was something that was invented because of the fucking internet, basically, and people who wanted to play fast music. Like,
We kind of found that out, and I think like MySpace did play such a big role in it, surprisingly, because like there were young kids starting bands that were influenced off bands that they've only heard on MySpace, and like they never heard like any other bands. Like you'd say like, oh, who are your biggest influences, and they'd name like, I mean, what were the general top ones were like Robinson, See You Next Tuesday, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's what it's just, I guess we keep going back to that, but it's so crazy how like, what was that label that existed that basically put out all those MySpace bands? DeBello?
Yeah.
that was one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
There was another one Christian told me about the other day. Willow Tip was one, wasn't it? And then there was
I remember that name. I don't remember what they.
fucking something tapes. I want to say it's like fucking. Christian, help me out. What is it? It's like something like Chelsea Tapes or something like that. I don't fucking remember. But there was a lot of like these fucking. Come on, Christian. Tell me what I want to know.
He's working on it. There's lag for us.
He actually, who the fuck was it? Somebody was telling me about it the other day that I should actually interview those record labels that were putting out that shit.
I would say interview like DeBello, and I can't remember what the name of the label was before DeBello, but like they like had that whole scene on lockdown, and they basically put out all those bands. At least their first records. We actually stayed with a band that was on that label, but they didn't fit into like a lot of the stuff that was on there, and they were called An Apparatus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess they started out kind of like that, but we ended up meeting up with them in like upstate New York to play a show, and they were like playing this really like doomy type stuff. It was really interesting, and it was nothing like what they were, and they were just, I remember telling us like that as like a lot of the fans would go see them and they're like, whoa, what the fuck is this, and but they were really nice guys.
They're awesome.
And their stuff that they were jamming was fucking good.
Oh,
Yeah.
So were you guys actually ever signed by a label?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I think the way that we were on Hugh Corrupts Incorporated, which was the label run by Hugh Corrupts. When that all happened, there was another label that was interested in us after hearing our demo, and they were called Immigrant Son. And we were like, yeah, that would be cool, but
that was contractual.
I think it was just kind of weird. I think Ryan Durkin, who was in Hugh Corrupts, and I had known for years because he was in a band called Kung Fu Rick. He basically was like, he saw us play and he was like, yo, really interested, I would definitely put out the CD for you. So we just went with that because he was from Chicago and we knew him, and it was a good time.
Which show was that at that we had that conversation with
Chicken
him?
Coop.
Chicken Coop, that's right.
Right, it's up like it was kind of like a little north of O'Hare, I think.
Mhm.
Forget what
And
town.
wasn't it like a storage unit?
It was in a storage unit that did hip hop shows.
It was a storage unit called the Chicken Coop, where we played a show with Hugh Corrupts and a few other really fucking sick bands. I want to say it,
Black
Print,
Print,
which was a sick fucking
Harlequin.
Harlequin.
Um,
But that's pretty. Midget Parade played it.
Midget Parade played, which is where Adam Jennings got on a ladder and fell and jumped onto a stack of fucking tacks. Yeah, so like that's the thing about Andy and Ryan, were that they were just like so like down to earth, and like they understood our sense of humor, and they understood that like we were kind of like outsiders in like this genre where like we didn't fit in. I know I keep going back to that, but it was like crazy. Like we weren't part of like that scene really, but I mean, you know, we'd play shows and people would always be like, oh, you know, I didn't realize this is how you guys were.
What's that?
I don't know if that means anything.
It's like Yanola Tapes or some shit like that. That was another one that put out a lot of that shit. That's what.
Dude, yeah, I recognize that.
It's so weird how a couple fucking squiggles you can recognize what the fuck it is.
I couldn't read that worth shit.
I read tapes.
Yeah,
You weren't
that's
in the
it.
scene, Josh.
But yeah, dude. I just feel like in the beginning when we first started, it was just like we put out our own shit on CDRs, like all the demo stuff. We just released it a couple times, and then we met up with Ryan at the Chicken Coop, and they liked us, and they wanted to do our first record. And I think within like a few months, we had written a few more songs, and then we went into a studio on the north side of Chicago, like kind of by Loyola, and did the first record.
Blam, right?
Blam. We
Blam
recorded at a
Studios.
studio called Blam
Rogers Park.
in North Rogers Park area.
That was All Is Lost, right?
All is lost. It was
And we went to like a birthday party the day before,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we got like destroyed the day before we were supposed to record our fucking record.
Yeah.
And I vomited on the snare drum while we were recording, and it was a fun time.
Shit show.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
total
wild.
fucked up.
And then we got our stuff together.
But yeah, that's the story with that, and it was always super chill. We did that, and then we released the last CD on Hugh Corrupts, and then we did the split CD with the band Gun Kata that was released by like some one-off like Canadian label called Sonic Deadline.
Sonic Deadline.
And it ended up being like a really like bad situation kind of because
It was
like,
originally supposed to be a split 7-inch, and then he couldn't afford to do that, so it eventually just went to being a split CD, which is totally cool.
well, the 7-inch was by a guy who was doing a label in Chicago, and then he like just stopped talking to us, and we're like, just send us our fucking shit back then. So he did that, and then the label from Canada said that they were going to release the CD, and it was cool. It came out great, and Gun Kata is amazing on that split, and probably like blow us out of the water. But the label, it was like so bizarre. Like they lost like 3/4 of the CDs in the mail that they were sending us. Do you remember that? Like, and it was just a bad situation. So I don't know where those CDs are. They're sitting somewhere in some truck or garbage can or something. But
Do you guys regret not releasing any vinyl?
no, I mean
We have one song about it.
we were like on a comp or something that was a LP, but you know, whatever. I mean, it was. I mean,
I'll find it.
I think vinyl was like whatever. I think it doesn't work well. I know recently, like in the past like year or two, somebody was talking about wanting to repress our stuff on like vinyl
Fuck
out
yeah.
of nowhere, and I was just like, I mean, okay, if it's cheap, I'd feel bad for you fucking blowing your money like that, but.
This is the only vinyl that we were ever on, really, though. It's like a compilation record for benefit.
I Object is the shit. I actually saw I Object in Brandon.
Earth Liberation Prisoner Support Network, which I believe is like a prisoners' rights movement.
Right on. So I guess we could get into like when we're interviewing bands like you guys that have the because like again with that weird genre, all the song titles were extremely long and were usually summed up of like inside jokes between the band.
Yeah, that's all it is. We're idiots. So like we would basically hang out and somebody would say something funny and then then it was like we would say it more and laugh, and then we were like, "That's a song." So like,
So Dylan, what was your question?
I don't remember.
Dylan wanted to know the song "Girls That Smoke Gross Me Out to the Max." Who was that song?
yeah, it's just something stupid I said, and that's basically what we went with. I wish there was a better story about it, but it was like, I mean,
So the song "This Film Is About a Ghost" is literally just about you guys watching a film about a ghost.
I don't know. That was you.
That was you.
Yeah, that was like a weird arty fucking song that I wrote. I don't even remember what the lyrics to that song are. You could probably tell me them, but let's not waste our time.
I just imagine you guys drunk in a corner, and you're just like, dude, are you all right? And you're just like, girls that smoke gross me out. And you guys just make song titles out of it. So
Well, like let's see, like Chicago.
I want
Or
to
Chicago. Chicago.
That was
I'm gonna blow my own head off now. Was me
messing up your words.
We were in a car and we saw a billboard that said Chicago, and I tried to say it out loud, and I said Chicago, and then said Chicago, and I said I was gonna blow my own fucking head off or whatever, and then we all laughed about it, and then it became a song title.
Yeah.
I screamed a lot on October.
You're going back to like the demo.
Wow,
stuff.
dude. Well, that's not all it's lost this on then.
That was. Oh, is it?
It's all the demo songs except for the beginning and end are on.
I think it's just more stupidity.
Yeah, it's just like it's just reference to like a lot of the earlier stuff is just all personal reference stuff because like Aaron was saying, we've always sort of just been kind of like in a weird outsider position in a lot of ways. We've always just done our own thing, and it's all personal reference to things and personal situations and stuff like that.
how old were you guys when you released this stuff?
The demo.
You were 22.
Yeah, I was like
21 or
45.
I was the oldest one.
21.
I was the oldest one in the band.
21, I think.
Yeah, so I was like 21.
I
You were
was-
like
I was
18, 19.
I was 18,
I was
turning 19.
16?
Mike was 16.
17, turning 18, I think, for Mikey.
And the demo, actually, Tony wasn't on the demo. We were just a three-piece at that point.
Yeah.
Tony did join for the first full length, and we actually had a second guitar player who played
There's a picture of him right there.
who played a couple. That's weird. Who played a couple shows
Let me
with
take that
us,
shit right here,
and
show them.
he was actually at the recording, and he helped a little bit with some stuff, but like he's not on record. He's a good friend of mine.
Here, check this out right here. If you can see this right here, that's Evan and Mikey playing we're rocking out right there. And
So yeah, so that was our like.
oh, dude, Tommy, you're in this shit. Holy shit, dude.
That was
Look at your face right by Mikey's head. It's hilarious.
So I knew Josh for a long time because Josh was in this amazing pop punk band called Amona.
Yes.
And they were like a Screeching Weasel, Queers, Ramones type band. And I went to a house show and I saw them play and I saw him do like these insane jumps and stuff. And I'm like, oh, this guy's cool. And I never thought much about it. And then we were going to like we were in school at the same time. And we had a class together, like an art history class. And I'm like, oh, you're that dude Josh or whatever. And then we start bullshitting. We realize that we had the same like stupid sense of humor. And then the band that they were in, he was like, oh, can you, do you want to join this band? So joined up, and that was how the first band got started. And literally Tower of Rome started the day that first band broke up. Like we went and had a discussion. We were like, let's just do something new. And we were all young. We wanted to do everything ourselves. So like our merchandise, we basically would go thrift store shopping and just buy shirts from the thrift store of just whatever, even if they had print on them. And then Josh worked at a screen printing place, and he would just print up our shirts from like reused thrift store shirts. I handmade all like the demo art, which is funny because the last song on the demo is called "Play the Tune or Die," which is taken from the Goonies DVD. It's a chapter on the Goonies DVD because we're idiots. And but I was using rub-on letters. And the E looks like an A, so for many, many years, people think that the name of the song is "Play the Tuna."
Play the tuna or die.
And so yeah, we were pretty young. I don't know.
I
That's
think
cool.
I think you guys should just repress your entire discography and just call it a vulgar display of Tower.
Yeah,
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
it wouldn't be. That was a good shirt.
Kill it. Get it all out of the way just on one LP. It'd be
Yeah,
easy.
get it out there.
Yeah. Why not?
Hey, Josh, you want to read the internet questions?
There are some.
Some
Oh
people.
yeah, people have been asking questions this entire time, so we're just kind
Oh,
of been.
how would I pull those up there?
No,
Here.
they're gonna read a. Or are
No,
they?
my Josh.
Yes,
Oh,
me,
you're-
me.
Well,
Sorry,
Josh is the IT guy with the headphones on. I mean, you're
somebody
my
asked,
Josh too.
Hey, Josh,
What's up, dude? What's up, dude?
what's up, dude?
So somebody asked, what were your rigs like? Christian,
Or what?
what are your rigs like? Like, what are your setups?
Currently or when we were
We
playing?
didn't drive a truck.
No.
No, they're talking about your heroin use.
They're fucking around. I know I
God
didn't-
damn it. Does he want to know currently or like when we were playing?
Like, were, as in past tense.
What were our rigs?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, Tony,
Like, I mean, remember-
Tony played on like a
I-
homemade.
How about every
Nasty
member
habits.
will describe their rig?
Well, originally or like as we were,
Yeah.
it changed as we went though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Originally I played through Josh's Fender 100, stage 100 on it was a 215 custom made cabinet by
It's a
Nasty Habits.
212.
Nasty Habits. Yeah.
It was like a
It had this old
gigantic
band,
like
it was like
Fender
an 80s metal band
master.
spray paint on the back called Nasty Habits. We just called it the Nasty Habits cabinet. So I played out of that.
I don't think we were really like in tune with good equipment.
No.
We never had like good gear really.
Yeah,
we were
your
just-
your Ibanez was a good guitar.
Yeah, I had like a. I
And
don't
you had
know
the
what
good
it was.
Pearl.
It was an Ibanez S series.
Yeah, we
I
never
usually had
like.
2 of 'em.
We would go and like play with certain bands, and like we would see like total like pro gear, pro attitude, and we're like, oh, our shit doesn't work half the time. So I don't know.
I don't remember, some kind of GK head and the Ampeg 810. That was yours.
You ran through a
Yeah,
Sands
getting
Amp,
to
too.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, and some
Ampeg
Sans
810.
Amp overdrive or something.
Well, it was the big muff. No.
No.
And then you just
it
turn
was
the
a big
distortion
pedal.
all the way as fucking high as it goes, so it sounds really shitty.
I ran a
And then-
Marshall AVT 150H head, just a solid state head through the Fender 100,
Mhm.
which was hooked up to
Slaved.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
slaved because the Fender 100 was on clean, and then I ran the Marshall distorted, and then it just ran through
Yeah, 2 Marshall
two
cabs.
two Marshall 412s, 1968 cabs.
Nice. My favorite piece of equipment from the entire band is that fucking piccolo snare. Dude,
Yeah,
that is.
yeah.
The
I think
popcorn
I have,
one?
Is that the one I have in the car?
Hopefully.
I think.
We,
Popcorn snare?
I graduated from the piccolo to the popcorn snare because my idea was to get
No,
like
what
the
is the
smallest,
popcorn?
most obnoxious
It's the
looking
thin one
snare.
like this.
And if you know drums, it's
Is it tiny
it's
little
like an
guy?
effect snare,
Real small.
but
Yeah.
it sounded
It's like
so
this.
like ear piercing and stupid that I'm like, yes, this is what I'm playing with, and like. It was funny, like you'd go into shows and people are like, "Holy shit, look at that snare! It's so small."
Yeah, I
But
definitely.
yeah,
remember.
that was awesome. I'm really Tony actually just brought that because like a lot of my drums from the Tower of Rome days have been sitting at his house since then. So gonna be
Hey,
reunited today.
I follow you on Facebook now. Just get one fucking rim shot on it.
Yeah.
You just go get it now.
I should get it now. Yeah, I'm sure the thing's like fun.
No, seriously, like, I could listen to music all day, and then I hear that fucking snare, and I'm just like, Tower of Rome. Like, that's so distinct, and it's yeah. That's the shit.
What's some other questions we got there?
Ricky Reed asks, what town had the best scene that you had ever played in?
Hmm.
Oh,
That's
I think I don't know. I guess the best shows would probably be maybe more of an accurate question. Maybe Madison, Wisconsin was always rad. Colorado Springs was always rad. Peoria,
Yeah.
Illinois, believe it or not, was awesome.
yeah.
The pool party house.
Bloomington, Illinois had a house called Pool Party House, which was always a fucking great place to play.
It was named a pool party house because it had a pool ladder in the backyard.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
true. There's actually one of the more famous pictures that was taken of us was like, I think the show was getting started super late and we got way too drunk and we decided it would be good ideas to draw mustaches on ourselves with a fat magic marker. So there's pictures of us playing this show and there's like 300 kids in like 100 capacity basement just like piled on top of each other and like we all have these obnoxious like twirly mustaches drawn on our faces. That was pretty
I did just play behind your amp. Like,
I don't remember.
cool.
No, I don't think so.
Where else?
Josh had to stand on top of the bass.
Where else?
Florida.
Florida was
We had a
cool.
good time out there. Never made it to Texas because that was like the first nail in the coffin for our band is when we were on that last tour and our van broke down in like the middle of like nowhere.
We did go through Texas that one time. We were in that neighborhood. Remember that sketchy ass neighborhood, and we ended up having to leave.
Oh no, that
Oh,
was
that was-
Needles, California.
Yeah,
that was
that
that
was-
New Mexico.
oh, dude.
That was like right in the edge of California, right by
Was it?
Mexico.
Oh, okay.
It's Uncle Needles.
I thought that was.
Yeah, Needles. We were actually just talking about that show in Idaho because it was like a fest that this girl threw because it was like her birthday present. So her like dad let her like have a fest in her basement. And I can't remember who all played, but we were just talking about how another band that had played, they wanted to take all of the money that was at the door, and our van had just broke down. So we're like, yo, like we're from Chicago, like we have a lot farther way to go. So the guys were mad about that, so they shit in her hamper,
Yeah.
which was funny. I don't know, like I think Chicago for us was like the worst scene.
Oh.
Like our hometown was just terrible for us, but like whenever we like would travel, that was when we had the best time. But yeah, like Madison,
Except for playing with you.
Milwaukee, Peoria, Colorado Springs.
A lot of just random places. What was it? Dubuque.
Dubuque was cool. And then we just have like a lot of memories of like interesting shows that were like good, but like the shit that happened with the shows just made them more memorable, I think. I don't know.
I think a lot of shows were a lot of fun, but they all happened so quickly that a lot of them are just like hard to kind of remember at this point. Just because it's so long ago.
We played a lot of shows.
And we played a lot of shows. Like we did at least 300-400 shows.
Yeah, when we were
Somewhere
like
around,
in
like a 2-year
when we were in
In a
like
2-year
our
period, we played around 300 shows.
yeah, when we were like coasting, we were just trying to play wherever we could, because we had a van and we were able to travel. So we would play wherever the hell we could. Sometimes we were on shows that didn't make any sense. Sometimes we were on shows that made perfect sense. And
Played our first tour for 30 pack and $20, right?
And what's
yeah, I think our first show we like said we would like money, but you can also pay us in beer. And people actually took us up on the offer. So
yeah.
So Kevin asks, this is funny too, because this is like one of the only other pictures or videos you can find is the Edward 40 Hands picture.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the story behind the Edward 40 Hands picture?
So we, Josh lived in a studio apartment, and we would go there and just have monumentally fucked up parties. At the end of that apartment's existence, we destroyed it.
Yeah.
Literally just destroyed it, and Josh had a warrant out for his arrest because we fucked the place up. But
Basically, we had a party, we messed it up so bad, and I was just like, man, I gotta leave. And then I left. And then we went on tour, and then I got a call when we were on tour. We were in Baltimore, and they called me up, and they were like, hey, man, we're gonna issue a warrant for your arrest in 2 days unless you pay us all this money to fix up the place that you totally messed up.
it was terrible.
And it was really rough.
I don't know why we weren't smart about things. That's not a good decision.
But one of the nights before that happened, we were all hanging out there, and our buddy Stefan, who was going to be the guitarist,
Bass player.
he was gonna play bass in the band.
He's gonna replace me.
Mike decided to clean his act up, and he was gonna join the military. And so we had to find a new bass player, and we met this dude Stefan, this like.
We still know him.
Yeah, we still know him.
Yeah.
That dude is wild, man. He's awesome.
Good, great guy. But either
That was
way,
a
Mikey
weird
was going to
place.
join the military, and
I was
Stefan
in a
was going
weird
to take his
place.
spy. But then, at the end of it, it turned out that Mikey couldn't join the military, so he was going to stay in the band. And then, but Stefan is just a guitar player naturally anyways. He doesn't play bass, he plays guitar. So he was going to become the second guitar player, and then it just kind of just...
I think he just stopped
He was in
coming to
another band at the
practices.
Yeah, we just stopped kind of playing. I don't really remember what happened specifically, but we just stopped playing.
But the Edward Forty Hands thing was basically like we had the idea to take a band photo, and we were like, that would be funny. So we all played Edward Forty Hands, and someone took our picture, and that was pretty much it.
And that's it.
And that Tower of Rome written in duct tape stayed on the wall of that apartment
For a
until
while.
you abandoned it after we destroyed it.
Yeah.
The game was just really short and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it was like 10 minutes. And you spent more time duct taping the bottles to our hands than it did to
Yeah.
So
But yeah, that's why.
what are you guys' current projects now?
I joined a band some years ago with Josh and Mike called Sea of Shit, and Mike then left the band, and we got to replace. There was a lot of people in and out of the band. I guess there was a couple lineup changes, and I recently left the band on good terms, but just because doing some other shit. Josh, what are you doing?
I currently play in a band called Canadian Rifle. I play guitar in it. I used to play drums in Sea of Shit, and now I play guitar in Sea of Shit. And I have a band with my girlfriend called Sore Spot, and that's what I do right now.
Right on. So, is there like band camps or anything that people can find this stuff at?
Oh yeah, I think it's all just all the band names straight up .bandcamp.com if I'm not mistaken.
Right
Or you
on.
can just search it and it'll more than likely pop up.
We'll post all the stuff in the comments so people can find them.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Mike was doing some stuff for a while.
Yeah, I was doing. Well, Josh and I did Dastard for a while,
Right. Yeah.
which started off as a pop punk project and kind of. I don't know.
I feel like Dastard fed into.
Yeah, Dastard
Artist.
totally fed into the band that I started, which was Carbon Leak. I started that with my friend Tommy, who's here, and Joey. It was just like shoegazy, post-punk stuff. But yeah, now I'm in a band called Dagger.
Right on. So, Josh, you want to hit him with the stock question?
The best question of the interview. All right, this is for every one of you. You can answer by yourself or as a group. But okay, so would you rather fight a single horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
And why?
Explain.
Jesus.
That guy's terrifying.
Yeah,
Dude, I don't know, man. I think I'd go with a bunch of tiny horses.
I wouldn't even want to fight him. I'd just be like just amazed.
How's
Like,
hold on.
They're
I have a
angry as
question.
fuck.
I have a question.
I would stage that.
How small are the horses?
They're duck-sized.
Like,
Like mallards. Mallard size.
Your standard mallard.
yeah, I go with the small horses.
Is there? You think that
I
fighting
don't know.
100
I'd
pissed
probably-
off horse-sized, duck-sized horses would be easier?
I feel like it would.
Oh, hell
be.
yeah, you can just kick those.
Yeah, you just, I mean, if it was all the four of us,
No.
we would just kick the shit out of it.
I
Go
would
with
try
the-
to domesticate.
See you step right.
I
We would
try-
either destroy them or we would turn them into pets.
You
I
just-
would keep the fucking horse-sized duck for sure. Like,
Yeah, you could totally breed the fuck out of a horse-sized or a duck-sized horse, and people would buy that shit like crazy.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah, man.
Little purses and shit.
I would keep
Start a little farm.
I would keep them my own secret, though. I'd let anyone see that.
Okay, so now, same question, but you have to either have arms for legs or legs for arms. So you have like 4 hands or 4 legs.
4.
4 hands or 4 legs.
I had to say 4 hands.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, dude, totally 4 hands. 4 hands.
Oh, God, I don't know. Yeah, I would choose the hands.
Wait, so did you get a foot on the leg or just the leg? So it's like 4 clubs?
It's like, is it like so 4 arms with hands?
Do I get
Yeah.
it back after the fight?
Yeah, dude.
I would
totally.
take the extra fucking.
Not like Goro.
Okay.
Your legs are hands.
Our arms and hands.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm down with that.
100 duck-sized horses with 4 hands.
Yeah.
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 Great
I would
answer.
definitely go with the hands. The foot.
I think you guys are the first ones to choose that one.
Really?
You could just swim.
So
Everybody just said they'd feed them bread and then kick them all with 4 with 4 feet. So
Yeah.
So my buddy Christian, he wants to ask about the summer tour EP.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why did he get one that didn't work?
No, actually, he just sent it to me on MediaFire as well. But he wanted to ask about the tour, like what tour was it, and etc. What made you record it?
Well, that material actually was the split with Gunkata, I think, right?
Yeah, that was the split material, but it was just a pre-release.
So as we said before, the guy who was gonna release it like dropped the ball. So like it was gonna come out, and then we wanted like some shit to actually sell or give people that was like interesting. And we always like doing that, like making extra things or making fun things, you know, to sell. And so we just put together that summer tour EP just to make a little extra gas money. But it was all from the Gunkata split, but it's obviously all different artwork that I made. And we fucking burned them all at Tony's house like the day before we left for tour. And then we started getting messages from people saying like, "Hey, is this a joke? Because I bought the summer tour EP and it's fucking Led Zeppelin." And I don't know how it got fucked up. It was like whatever, like it wasn't iTunes. It was like whatever the fuck you thing had on there.
I
Somehow
forgot about that.
instead of Tower of Rome material, it was like Led Zeppelin's like. So we ended up having to mail a bunch of people the actual real thing. But yeah, that was the story with that. It was just something else to make, you know, extra money. And I always like doing stuff like that. So we made them, you know, handmade everything. And then we hand numbered them and all that bullshit. So
So
that's all that was.
that leads me into my next question, kind of. We're doing a giveaway, and we're trying to get some type of something from every band that we've interviewed. And I know people would truly covet something from Tower of Rome. So
I wouldn't give it away.
Yeah, or we'll just keep it for ourselves. But I was wondering if you guys had anything laying around or something that you could send us that we could put into our care package.
Didn't you find a bunch of shirts?
I think I have some shirts.
I've got
that I
extra
could-
shirts.
You got some shirts too?
Extra shirts.
Yeah.
Dylan's eyes just exploded.
Yeah.
He was like, "Do you have any 3X?"
We can totally. I'll send some stuff down.
Yeah, we'd have to look. I'd have to like really look. I think I have like, I know I have flyers.
Fly anything, man. Anything.
If you go contact Hugh Corrupts, I'm sure they have a ton of extra CDs that they'll probably just give you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing
Probably.
another one of those like free records.
Actually, I just was on Indie Merch the other day and saw both of your albums in the clearance pile for $5 each.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, that was.
Any merch.
Yeah, that was an interesting story. We won't go into that one though. Yeah, I'm sure we could dig something up. Things got weird at the end of the band because we didn't play for a while after that last tour that like really bottomed out for us because the van was so fucked up that we basically just sold it to the guy as scrap because it was going to cost more to fix it than the van was worth. And we rented a U-Haul and just drove straight from Idaho back to Chicago. And we didn't play for a while. And then
Tony should talk about the floor.
yeah, so like we didn't play for a while, and then we started writing new songs actually. And we wrote like 5 or 6 songs that were like a little bit different. The stuff was like slower, but it was like more blast. There was like no like
If that makes sense.
heavier stuff and stuff like that. It was just like really blasty, but like not as fast. And we played maybe like 5 or 6 shows on that material. We never recorded it like idiots. So those songs are just, they never existed. And what really killed the band, I think, is all of our shit was in Tony's basement where we practiced, and some horrible storm hit and flooded his basement and basically like destroyed everything.
The whole town.
So
huge.
We lost all of our like merch that we had got like fucked up. The laptop that we used like for the band to function got fucked up. All of the guitar cabs and like the guitar. I mean, it was just like whatever. And I'm like, dude, there's some force that is telling us that it's time to end this. But we stuck with it, and then we ended up playing that Dude Fest show that we talked about, and then we just never played ever again. Like we never recorded those last 6 songs, which was gonna be for like a little like mini CD. And then we just kind of stopped. During that time, I started the side project Altered Beast with Josh, and Mike later joined that, which was just more of like
I had no clue you were in that.
Oh yeah, that was me and Josh. We wrote and recorded those songs on the spot. I basically like would write lyrics at work, and then when we hung out, we just got like a case of beer, and I hummed the guitar parts, and Josh played what I hummed, and then we just recorded it on the spot.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Right on.
And then it just kind of led from there. Like we just stopped playing, and people did their own thing, and people had.
Grimsred.
Oh yeah, there was Grimsrud, which was a short-lived band that was Mike and Josh and myself, and we played a couple shows on that band. We recorded 2 songs, which are on MySpace still, I think.
There's videos
And
online.
there's a video of us playing a show.
Did you take that video?
No.
Jim
That's a
Geis
sweet
did.
video.
Jim Geis did?
And we were supposed to record a 7-inch, which we had full. What do we have? Like 8 songs. Like we had a full 7-inch written, and then we just stopped playing. So that was like the curse of our laziness, is we just stopped doing stuff. And then they started a band. I didn't play music for a while. Tony had some kids. Mike has kids now. Josh doesn't have kids. I don't have kids. I have 4 cats and a dog. Those are my children. Tony and Mike are both married. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that usually seems to be the case with most bands we talk to, is just life, caught up with everybody individually and then kind of took a toll on everything. But it is kind of crazy to think about like what you guys could be doing right now if you were still playing music, like if you had stuck with it.
Well, yeah, I mean, we never stopped playing music, but I think with like Tower of Rome, like it kind of just like, it was funny. I remember one of the last shows that we played before Dude Fest, and we were playing all the new stuff. We played a show at this place called the Chocolate Factory in Chicago, which was like a practice space, but also had a showroom and used to be a chocolate factory. And we played this stuff, and all these kids were like psyched to see us because it was like our first Chicago show in like a long fucking time. And kids showed up, and they were like ready to fucking mosh and tear the fucking pit apart. And then we played, and like they were all bummed because it was all just like fast, like grind, like with. I mean, that's all it was. You remember that?
Yep.
And everyone just kind of stood there, and then they started yelling out for us to play like our old songs, and we're like, nope, not gonna happen. Sorry.
Yep.
And then I think that's when we kind of lost the fan base that we, had gotten into or whatever.
It was like the songs when we got out of school. We never played those live.
Never.
We recorded those songs, and then we played them.
We played them on
just
this tour.
Didn't want to. Yeah, we didn't play them
By the time the record came out, we were past it. Yeah.
So I guess at this time in the show, if anybody wants to call in, you could have done it through the whole interview, but feel free to call in now. Our phone number is 727-369-6924. It could be flashing down here somewhere. Yeah, if you guys have any questions or just want to call in and tell Tower that you fucking love them, or tell them that we suck at interviewing, or whatever you guys talk about. We're going to wrap it up here shortly, so if you guys want to call in or even video chat, you can video chat with us on Skype. Just add us to your contacts, sheeps.clothing, and we'll give you guys about 10 minutes to get that in order if you want to do that. So I would say...
Have you guys ever been interviewed before?
No. Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Awesome.
Yeah, never.
Yeah,
We're really interviewed because we're not great at interviewing.
There is a question we might have skimmed over.
The straight, like, just kind of talking is probably better than actually answering questions, I think, because that's usually how, you know.
Yeah. We try to create an atmosphere of we're just all talking on Skype. But what were you saying, Josh?
Kevin Revis, he asked this a while ago, actually. He said he likes the cover for All Is Lost. And he wants to know if there's any meaning behind using the Christ the reindeer statue.
No.
Not at all.
I didn't think so.
That was made by a buddy of ours at the time, and he was... I want to say that was one of his earlier pieces that he did with just computer art and layering and different lighting for images and stuff like that. And he just ended up using it as the piece for the cover of the record because we commissioned him to do artwork for us.
Yeah, Nigel Dennis is his name. He went on to do the album artwork for
Common, right?
He did
Common and
Yeah.
that other Chicago-based rapper.
He did MTV Music Awards. He did Nike. He did all kinds of
Yeah,
shit.
he ended up getting really big, and he's still
Lupe
around.
Fiasco.
Nice.
Yeah, a ton of stuff.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, there's really no meaning behind it. It was just a interesting piece, I guess, of computer art that he made.
So we wanted to do something a little bit different, and Hugh Corrupts was like, hey, why don't you see if you know anyone who wants to do the record art or whatever. And he said, well, I'll do it. And he'd been working with a ton of bands too at that time. And he just was like, here, how about this? And we made a few changes to it. And then that was that. But, yeah.
Yeah, no meaning really, though.
Yeah.
I get a warm fuzzy feeling whenever I'm in a thrift store or a used CD spot and I see that CD there. Because it happens a lot. If I'm outside of the city, in Northwest Indiana, a used CD store out there, and I'll walk through and I'm just gonna check the T's and see if our record's there. And sure as shit, every time there's a Tower of Rome CD.
That's how I found Josh on Instagram, is because somebody tagged him in a Tower of Rome at a Goodwill, and it hashtag Tower of Rome, and then they tagged Josh in it, and I started following him.
Crazy.
Creeper.
So, our buddy Christian asks, who wrote the bio on the Last FM? That shit's hilarious.
Last FM?
Do we have a Last FM?
What's the bias?
I don't know.
Wait, a hodgepodge of differentiating factors.
Oh, it was probably
Probably Dirk.
it might have been Hugh Corrupt.
Yeah, it was probably Ryan Durkin, possibly Andy Selania from the label that we were on, just being goofy.
Crazy guys.
Those crazy guys.
All right, so I
I
guess
wish we were more interesting.
No, this has been great. You guys love each other, and that's awesome to see.
yeah, for sure. So before we even started the interview, everybody was in the comments just literally saying, "When's the reunion?" So I guess when's the reunion?
This is it.
Yeah.
Tony said it right there. This is it.
Good answer.
I mean, honestly, if you think about it, this is what we did most of the time, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is like what we're doing right now is what we did most of the time, anyways. So here's your reunion.
Well, if everybody just so happens to pick up an instrument of their choice and plays just something, please record it for us. Send it our way.
Oh, there's a sweet Yamaha keyboard right here.
Yeah, it's just too bad Roger's not there to play blast beats on it for you.
I know, he could write us a whole record. We could just do it right now, you know?
Yeah, he's actually touring right now with a band called Pleasures. So they might be coming through Chicago.
Right on. Cool, I'll check that out.
Yeah, it's like crazy to think about. Like, I always wonder what happened to like a lot of bands and people that like we cross paths with or what they're up to now. And I guess that's why this is pretty rad that you guys do stuff like this, because you can kind of find out where these guys are now.
It's where are they now? MySpace bands.
There were a lot of them.
Yeah.
Oh god.
So I mean, yeah, and if you guys personally know any other bands that you think would be interested in doing something like this, dude, shoot them a link. Send them, tell them to get in touch with us, because you know a lot more of the bands that we're into personally than we do. You know what I mean? So we're always looking to book great shit, and you know, if it was somebody that we were into, we're more than happy to have them on. But
shit, we interview people we're not into.
yeah, it's kind of difficult because
death metal.
I don't know. Some people still have that rock star mentality. You know what I mean? But then you come across the people who are down to earth and just kind of like want to relive that awesome moment of their life. You know, it's like you said, you guys were all like fucking teenagers when you started doing this shit, and fucking 10 years later, now you're sitting in a room all together talking about it and having a good time for people who are really interested in that shit because it touched them musically somehow. But
that's why we're happy to do it, I think, man. Like, this is kind of the reunion, I think, is right now.
That's awesome. We appreciate it.
Yeah, man. It was great having you guys on. It was actually nice to have an interview go through smoothly without our computer crashing or losing audio or whatever, because we do all this shit DIY ourselves too. Like, this is just our personal laptop webcams, you know? Like, we just Skype each other. And
they probably didn't know that.
Yeah, I know we look very here at Sheep's Clothing, but yeah, so I guess we're gonna wrap it up, guys, and let you guys go finish drinking your wine or whatever you were doing.
Coffee and ginger ale. We're a bunch of we're all stand-up people now. We cleaned our acts up.
They're responsible individuals.
Yeah, in the Tower of Rome days, though, ooh, buddy. You know, it's fun to think about and it's fun to talk about, and you know, we still have conversations every now and then. I'm like, oh, do you remember that one time? You know, that was funny. So this was kind of fun to kind of like do it officially.
Yeah.
There's a million stories we could have bored you with that we would have found funny, and you guys would have just been like, whatever. But maybe that's like.
How about you guys send us out on one more good tour story, and then we'll wrap it up.
Oh, now we're on the spot. I don't know. What was the best tour?
Just tell all of South Dakota.
Well, South Dakota was like, so, all right, we'll try to make this quick. We rolled into South Dakota, and we played at this giant house that seemed pretty cool. There was a guy who came out to meet us, and he looked dead like Jack Black. He was just wearing a pair of boxers and nothing else, and he was like smoking a cigarette talking to me, and then he just like dropped the cigarette on the ground and died it out with his bare foot, and I was like, oh, shit. And that was just kind of like leading to what we were going to get into in the night. We played the show, which was insane. We met a guy, Toby.
What metal band was he?
Toby.
So we met a guy who was in I'm not going to say the band because I think he was in like a bit of legal trouble, and he was actually hiding out at this house from like many warrants and stuff. But
Yeah.
10 years ago, I think
he might be dead now. I don't know. But he was like, he was in a pretty well-known like early '90s death metal band that I had known, and so I was like talking to this guy, and he's like, I want to introduce you. So like, he came out and said, when I was a boy. What the fuck did he say?
When I was a boy, my mama would always say to me, Toby, bring out the death.
And, but apparently it was a true story. And then, so we played the show, and then there was like an old keg. Do you remember this? There was like a keg from a party that happened like a month ago there. So we emptied the beer into a giant cup, and we had this guy drink it during our set, and he threw up. And then a bunch of like fucking interesting individuals showed up, and then the neighbors came over, and they were trying to trade like real tattoos for beer.
Yeah.
Like, these like meth heads kind of like came out, and we were like, oh, these guys like they either want meth or they want liquor, and they'll give you a tattoo of like Flash. And he's like, yeah, I got the whole setup. I can just bring it right over and just give you a tattoo. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get like Hep C or something. Like, so as the night progressed, more people were getting fucked up, and then we found out that the death metal guy was on the run from the law because he was like selling meth, and he sold meth to the people that work at the house or who lived at the house. And I specifically remember the story of the one kid. He said he smoked the meth, and then his dick and legs and arm turned black. Like the skin went black. I don't know if he was dying or like what happened, but like he recovered.
That's good meth, man. If it could turn your fucking dick black.
It was bizarre, and that was a memorable story just because we'd never met so many different types of people who were just like all different levels of fucked up and
Strung out as fuck.
And then we realized
the whole town was weird.
Then we realized that we were actually playing like a known like drug house, and we were like, oh, cool, that's fun.
And Homeboy 16 on tour.
But we slept there.
They fed us spaghetti that was dumpster dived and told us that after we ate it.
We actually were too scared to sleep inside, so we all slept in the van, except for Tony, I think.
No, I slept in the van.
Who slept in the house? None of us. We all, like a bunch of nerds, got up when everyone passed out, and we were too scared to be in there, so we all went and slept in the van.
Yeah, that was funny.
All right, guys.
I guess it was kind of funny.
I don't know. I mean, I think all the shit that we remember. I mean, I think it's only funny to us because we were there.
Yeah, that's what most situations are. You have to be there to really understand how crazy it was.
And I think like it goes, you know, I know we're trying to end this, but I think it just kind of goes to show what kind of band that we were from the start. Is we were just friends, and we just wanted to like play music, but more than that, we just wanted to have fun and have like a good time. We never took ourselves seriously. We never, ever, ever were like, you know, concerned about. I mean, we would play shows, like I said earlier, for beer. Like we would go on tour, not knowing if we were going to get paid, and we just did it because we just wanted to have fun. And we never had like, I know you mentioned like rock star mentality. There was never anything like that. Just because it was like stupid. Like, why? I mean, we're trying to be stupid. We were trying to be funny. We were trying to play as fast as possible. And, you know, I don't know. That's kind of how it was. I guess you just had to be there. It's like the whole thing. It's like, I guess it goes for the whole type of music that we were playing and bands were playing at that time. Is it's like, you just kind of had to be there.
Yeah. It was a totally different time than anything like now. So.
For sure. Well, yet again, guys, it was awesome. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you for, you know, I thank you guys for having that good time and sharing it with everyone else. And, you know, thank you for the music and, you know, all future projects and everything else, man. We appreciate it greatly. And, you know, you guys, this has been awesome. So you guys get back to your stuff. And, you know, you guys are now part of the Sheep's Clothing family or whatever. So if you guys want to come on with any of your other groups or anything like that or promote anything, feel free to shoot us a message and we'll get it out there for you.
Right on.
Thank you guys so much, man.
Yeah, man.
Yep. All right. Well, you guys have a good night.
See you, man.
All right. Thanks.
Cool.
There you have it. Tower of the fucking Rome.
Tower of Rome, best friends play fast.
Oh, yeah. I think that's awesome. Yeah, that's probably why they're so, you know, good at what they were doing. It's because they didn't give a shit about, you know,
Maybe that's why we
being
never
so
made
good.
it. That's why we never made it, because we fucking cared too much. But we shouldn't have. We should have just played.
See, maybe at that point, well, maybe some people cared too much and other people just wanted to have fun. So it wasn't like all, you know.
He's saying that Nick tried too hard. Nick wanted to be a rock star, and everybody else wanted to have fun.
Nick's just trying to push everybody and push us away.
Slave drive you. But Josh, will you play that video that I sent you?
Yeah. You want to do it after? Like close out with that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Are we closing out now?
I don't care. I mean,
Wrap it up shortly.
shortly.
I want to talk
Yeah, so stick around. We'll play a
wanna
music
talk.
video.
about-
We'll play a music video afterwards. So yeah.
the rest of the show, I'm going to talk about the seafood festival. So there was this woman protesting, right? She was protesting about it. Like, there's literally 3,000 cars in this festival, and she's walking around with these anti-abortion posters and a megaphone, and
One of those people.
yeah, she was making a big scene and making a lot of people uncomfortable.
What the fuck's the point of that? Like, what
It
message
doesn't-
do they feel they're getting?
Apparently, there's a such thing as hired protesters,
Yes.
Seriously?
and they all they are to do is to go to these places and stir up a bunch of shit to get like an official, like a county official, somebody of higher.
Their attention or whatever.
No, it's to get them fucking up and then
Oh.
yeah, that's what they're
To,
trying
like, make them fuck up so that they catch it on camera or something?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, no shit.
Yep.
That's the
That's
fucking
a-
society we live in.
Yep.
Like PETA hires people to go out and protest shit. Not just PETA. I'm not just saying just PETA. I'm sure a lot of people do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it was about. And she was like,
It's like
preaching about-
Hillary's people, the DNC hiring people to go out and protest Trump rallies and Bernie Sanders stuff, It's kind of like that. Try to, make situations worse than they actually are.
Yeah, trying to bring them to a head.
Yeah.
But that's a real thing. You can actually be a hired protester.
Right.
And she has like a rap sheet of all the time she's been arrested, and I mean it's crazy. I couldn't do that. I don't even like going to a restaurant because people have to wait on me, let alone walking around with a freaking megaphone and annoying everybody.
Oh, it's like the fucking guy that stands out in front of the courthouse. Like,
That
He's a-
dude is insane.
yeah, and he goes to Ybor and shit. But I mean, like, he portrays himself as this fucking Christian man, and that he goes out there and he thinks in his mind he's actually like saving you, or he's gonna show you the fucking light when you're at court at 9 o'clock in the fucking morning, like going for a
For
fucking
jury duty.
yeah, jury duty or like misdemeanor possession, or might end up in prison or some shit. And he's Christian, and like the whole Christian value system is like you're not supposed to fucking judge people, like blah blah blah. But what the fuck are you doing? You're standing in front of a place where people who fuck up are going, fucking sitting there on a megaphone. Like the fucking Klan was out there the other day, fucking had like a monster truck with Klan flags all over it.
Jesus.
And seriously, it just said like, if you're an N-word, fuck off on the back of it, and like it was ridiculous, dude. This shit's fucking crazy. Like,
That's all these people do is try to get people riled up,
Yep.
and they videotape it, and then they get paid.
so
so-
what was this lady doing at the seafood festival?
She was protesting anti-abortion, like pro-life and this and that.
There's so many people at the fucking Ruskin Seafood Festival are getting abortions, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, the thing is, the festival people, they made this giant sign that said, "This woman is not affiliated with the festival by any means," and made this guy follow her around with this fucking giant sign.
That's awesome. Oh, man.
I thought it was funny.
That's hilarious.
Hey, do you remember Gay Leggin?
Yeah, I remember Gay Lake.
That's so funny. I'm wearing basketball shorts. So
It's kind of like a two-step, but like you're. That was crazy.
It's funny because I'm sitting here, I'm nervous, so I'm like wearing basketball shorts and I'm pulling them up like this, and you can't see it, but I'm just like gay legging, and you're just like. So if you're curious, just look up gay legging on YouTube, and you'll see the two guys that dance around. It's pretty funny.
Bro, that blows my fucking mind that they remembered Bug jumping through Megan.
Dude,
That's
hilarious.
insane. That's so funny. I was sitting right there. I think we're the ones that egged him on to do
Oh,
it.
definitely egg that shit on. Like, I'm not gonna tell Bug to jump through Megan's windshield.
That was insane. That's why nobody fucking talked to us, is because it's insane.
Honestly, like, and it's weird because like that mentality we had when we were young was normal to us. Like that destructive behavior and just being obnoxious and fucking wasted. That's why nobody ever wanted to hang out with South County kids, like at all. Like,
Oh man.
It was crazy. Megan said that made my night. Megan, call in and talk yoga with us. I'm so ready for a yoga segment.
No, because she wants me to do this fucking yoga technique I taught her, and I fucking feel like doing guided meditation on my podcast.
You taught her a technique?
Yeah.
What is it called?
I don't know what it's called, but it's crazy as fuck, man. Like, if you look at your hands, there's a line on your hand right here, and there's a line on your hand right here.
Which one?
And on your wrists.
There's multiple.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you put the two together, and you bring your fingers up, and your fingers are the same size at the tip.
Normal people, sure.
Okay.
Right.
Now I can do a meditation technique that will make one hand at least 1.5 inches bigger.
Shut the fuck up. That's like
Just
closing one eye. That's like two eyes, and you look at your fingers, and there's a middle finger.
Just with your mind, like by controlling your motherfucking chi, you
I
can.
thought it was.
Listen, like, all right, like kung fu masters and shit, they use chi to like
Here we fucking go.
bring their force stronger when they punch people and shit. So if you meditate, you can actually increase blood flow and energy and power to one hand with literally just your mind.
Bullshit.
How many fucking drugs did you do?
Well, me and Megan
You
were on a
believe
lot
that
of
shit,
drugs.
but you don't believe space exploration.
Megan and I were on a lot of drugs, and I learned how to do this technique, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna try it on Megan because I can talk Megan into anything, really." So
she's watching right now.
I know.
I want Megan call in, please.
Like this is the second time I tried it, and the first time I tried, I did it on myself, and I was like, "Holy shit, that fucking works!" And then I tried it on Megan, and it blew her motherfucking mind, dude. Like she lost it.
How the hell do you make it? What are you talking about?
Well, like she was like super concentrated, so her shit was like that much fucking longer, bro.
You
Like
go,
her hand was humongous.
This is what you do.
It was fucking
This is what you do. You go like this.
No, dude,
All right.
it's clearly
It's longer.
It's completely clearly obvious how much bigger it is. It's fucking crazy, dude.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. What is the fucking podcast turning into? Let's end this shit on a fucking good note, man.
Show me the technique. I want to make my fucking. I am in it to win it, Nicholas.
No, we're gonna save the technique for the next week that we don't have a guest, and we'll have Megan on.
Who do we have on next week?
We don't have a guest.
Well, we're gonna have Megan on.
Well, I have three people like in line to accept that date, but they haven't accepted it yet. So,
Yo, who do you have lined up so far? You've been sending some crazy shit.
Implosive Disgorgence.
Awesome.
The
But
Night Fair.
What do you even ask these people? Like, I don't know what to ask these guys.
Contact them. Tell them I have a podcast. Tell them I'd be really interested in
No,
interviewing.
I mean, like,
say yes. Huh?
oh, that's it.
And then,
Like, Tower of Rome actually knew about them.
well, I know about all these bands too. Nightmare Affair. We stayed in a hotel together at some fucking metal fest in Florida with Bug actually, and Bug just kept trying to rip his girlfriend's titties out of her shirt so that the band could see the titties, and that's how they remembered me. And they're like, "Oh, that night was fucking crazy." Blah blah blah. So they're gonna come back on. They're gonna come on one night. And that was actually the same show that I met the guys from Impulsive Discordance. So them, and then I was just chatting with Christian about having one of his old bands on that he sent me a link to their music, and it was fucking killer too. He told me it was like basically just a couple of dudes fangirling on the Daughters pretty hard, so it's like obviously good music. Did you see they're touring right now?
The Daughters?
Yes, not in Florida though.
I just don't want to go and be disappointed.
I just don't want to go and hear only hear hell songs.
Oh,
No. Fuck,
so you're going to Dillinger Thursday, right?
fuck yeah, I'm going to Dillinger, and I'm gonna try my damnedest to get some kind of interview, but definitely footage regardless.
Well, if anything, try to get merch.
I'm definitely getting merch.
If you had a fucking sheep's clothing shirt,
What's that? What the fuck's that got to do with anything?
if you had a sheep's clothing shirt, you could represent.
Or
But you're just gonna go wearing your Krupskaya shirt and your army shorts
you already know it. You already know it.
and your low top Vans.
Honestly, I got too fat, and this shirt is like the only shirt that fits me comfortably. So I moved up to a double X, Dylan. I'm sure you're happy about that.
Did you finally?
Yeah. I moved up to a double X, and I'm upset about it.
I remember when I did that
It's like a life-changing moment. It's like you're fat as fuck now.
in middle school. Like
You're literally morbid obese.
when I went from 2X to 3X.
Jesus, how'd you just not kill yourself?
Seriously, 3XLTs is what I have to wear.
3X tall T.
Yep.
Yo, but we're gonna get some tower shirts. I'm stoked about that.
Yeah, we can make fucking leg patches out of it.
Yeah, because you know it's got a slim fit fucking.
Or just let fucking Josh wear them all. No, but seriously, we still got a few viewers, so we are doing the giveaway. That is not a thing that we're just saying. We got a bunch of merch.
Yeah, it's not a scam just to get free merch.
Yep. We do have vinyls we're going to be giving away.
I'm gonna throw in my copy of Crate Digger from Bob Surin. We have there's gonna be some Krupskaya merch. I'll get in touch with Tim. I'm gonna see if he doesn't mind if I burn some of the CDs that he gave me because I'm not giving away my originals, but I could always burn some Krupp CDs for somebody.
I haven't heard anybody say burn a CD.
I know.
Probably.
Seriously.
Am I writing a CD? Like, what am I doing? I'll just send them an MP3.
The new thing is torrenting.
Like, we don't want your shitty giveaway. We got all this stuff already.
They're like, what the fuck's a CD?
No, but I got the Shed for You vinyl. So
Yeah, there's a couple of things that I have laying around, and I'm actually getting in contact. I got in contact with fuck was that band's name? Ocido.
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 No, it's not right.
They're gonna throw me some shit. I'm getting in touch with
It's Okido.
Tragedia again. They're gonna throw me some shit.
Tragedia.
Dude, those interviews were good. Did you go back and watch the interview of the one that me and Josh did alone without you?
No.
It's actually pretty good.
Of course I did. I put that when I'm mowing the park, dude. I just throw on our interviews and listen to them again.
Yeah, I was actually looking into Spotify today and just putting audio on Spotify.
Can you do that?
Yeah, but what we have to do is we're gonna have to go through and edit out all of the fucking my mic's not working, all this and that, and because it has to be listenable because you actually have to approach like a company with the material, and the company puts it on there and it actually monetizes it, so you get paid for it. And they'll put you on,
get paid for it.
Well, they'll put you on iTunes and they'll put you on Spotify. But I mean, but the thing is Spotify is so accessible that we can actually, more people will find out who we are, and you can pop it in and just listen to it as opposed to watching a video where your phone has to be on the video or it'll quit playing.
Well, then we're gonna have to stop talking with our hands and shit because we do a lot of this, and people and this. So like as I'm doing this, Josh has got to be like Howard Stern and be like, Dylan is now
matching the lines on his palms.
Well, honestly, like
go ahead, come on, buddy.
When I go back and watch the podcast, I don't watch them. I just listen to them on my phone. And honestly, when I hear just our voices, I think it's way funnier. But maybe that's just because I've already seen the video and I know what happened. But I mean, like, I don't know. The only reason I wanted to take the video route was because eventually I'm going to spawn this into a vlog and everything else. It's not just going to be a Sunday interview kind of thing. Like, Sundays is always going to be our big night where we do shit. But I want to produce content like at least 3 days a week. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Well, yeah. So, like, how we look at Josh. He's like, I got a job.
Yeah,
Josh,
Sundays are my
serious.
only day off.
You gotta show Nick how to do this stuff, man.
Yeah,
No, he's like,
Look,
no.
it's easy.
No, like seriously, like the layout and stuff. Show Nick how to do it, and he'll show me, and that way we could take some of the fucking pressure off.
For sure, man. I hate leaving it all up to you, man. Like,
It's all-
it bugs the shit out of me to have to hit you up and be like, hey, did you post this video? Hey, did you do this? Hey, did you do that?
That video
And then
is
if you
up, but I forgot to take it off private because I put it on private when it's in editing mode, so like nobody's able to watch the shitty beginning fucking parts where
Yeah.
like or like I have to cut out the music that we play at the beginning because it gets like
Oh, right.
demonetized and copyrighted. So yeah, I have to fucking worry about that shit.
And if
See.
you show Nick how to do it, he won't text you in the middle of the week going, "Yo, Josh."
I don't mind. I don't mind. It fucking reminds me.
Hey, Josh. or, or he's like, hey, Yosh. It's a silent J.
Yosh. Yosh and Dilly.
Yeah, man. It was. Today's been a long day.
Look at this.
Yeah, for
He
sure.
just
You look
jumps
tired.
up here like, hey, just start
Chris
petting me.
Denny, we're so sorry.
See you later.
We could never live up to Chris Denny's expectations.
No. So I saw Matt and Cassie at the Highland game, right?
Why the fuck were they at the Highland game?
Because they go to festivals with the kid.
Oh, okay.
So I was talking to them, and they
Have a
were just like, "Yeah." I'm not trying to leak their shit all over the internet, but anyways, they were saying that they were surprised that Chris was actually nice to us. So thank you, Chris.
Chris is nice to us because we kiss his fucking ass.
No, seriously, she's like, he's a smart ass, and like we met him up at the. We're completely like making him look soft on the internet. So Chris is an asshole.
He's SOFF soft. No. I hugged that man one time. Give him a hug. A hug for shit for you.
I think Nick's got a face tattoo and he gives people hugs.
But yeah, everybody that since we did the Shed interview, like a lot of the people I talked to about the podcast and stuff, they're like really fucking stoked on Shed for You. Like, I know I keep fucking talking about Christian. He's not like my boyfriend or something, I swear to God. But I talked to fucking
Christian.
I talked to Christian and I was like, yo, did you like fucking Shed for You or whatever? And he's like hyped as fuck about it. And he, like I said, he runs that mathcore index page and shit. And so, I mean, like, he constantly is listening to good fucking mathcore or whatever you want to call it. But him and I think Chris Arp was talking about how fucking sick it was. And I don't know, I talked to a couple different people. I don't remember. I don't know why I'm fucking tooting Shed for You's horn right now. But I love those guys.
Because we're not ashamed of our feelings.
What the fuck is going on? We're spiraling now. We're spiraling. This is gonna be on the
Spiraling
internet.
upward.
When people look for Tower of Rome, they're gonna hear about our shitty lives at the same time.
And how we're old and can't play fast anymore.
Yeah, we need to fucking
I think that's really what's happening is these bands, they're just old and they can't play that fast anymore.
But their songs are only like a minute long, so I mean,
So they
fatigue
start-
won't set in.
They start
Like
playing
out of
folk
breath.
music. They go from grind to folk
Yeah.
because you just can't keep up.
I'm telling you, out of this entire project, I am going to launch a fucking super band. I swear it. I'm gonna get somebody from each band I fucking like and launch a fucking super band, and then I'm gonna actually play music again one day. Hopefully, it'll be sick.
Oh, because you're the fucking a member of a super band
Yeah, I am a super band,
with all of your vocals that you've written.
dude. I am sick at vocals, and you know it.
You've never written a fucking lyric in your life. Even when you sang, I wrote lyrics. And then you never even sang them.
You're not going anywhere with that kind of rock star attitude, Nick.
All I gotta say, my shit sounds tight as fuck. I know it.
Hey, will you do me a favor for a promo for Sheep's Clothing?
What?
Will you please do a gore tutorial on YouTube on Sheep's Clothing? Just completely be like, step 1, face tattoo. Step 2, gauges, no earrings. What the hell? She's engaged.
Oh man. So
No,
you guys done busting my balls yet or what?
no.
It's obviously it's my turn this week, right?
But seriously, do a tutorial because it would be funny.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. If you set up a contest between the three of us, that will be my losing thing. That if I lose the contest, I will fucking do a vocal tutorial with my shirt off on YouTube.
Bullshit.
I promise.
What would
You
this?
just want to lose so you can fucking do it. Tutorial.
What would this contest be about?
We still got to get together and take a fucking group picture, man. I'm sick of having only my face up there. Like,
I want to put it up there. Poster child.
It looks good though, don't it?
You are the poster child of Sheep's Clothing.
Our brand
Yeah,
has been ruined since you've shaved your beard off.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to grow back fast. But if Centos calls me Monday, then yeah, I went to an interview for Centos, by the way.
Nice.
I only cussed one time.
Were you like fucking?
The job,
No.
the job I have now is my.
I was like, I just think it'd be a cool ass job.
Amazon had a job fair at the seafood festival.
They won't let
So-
it work.
Amazon charged, so it was $2 to get into the park and $5 for the festival. So Amazon charged $7 in order to go to the job fair.
Wow,
So you got to pay to go apply for a job.
that's shitty.
That you're not gonna get.
Well,
Yeah.
Because I went in there, dude. They gave me the fucking. I don't know if you remember seeing the Facebook fucking rigmarole I went through. I posted every bit of it, but I went in there for fucking 3 different drug tests, 3 different orientations. They actually gave me a fucking starting date and every fucking other thing under the earth, and then I passed my background check once, and then they're like, "Well, we're gonna have to give you a background check because they're so unorganized." I was like, "I already passed that. I already passed the drug test. You already gave me a fucking start date. You already gave me. I've been to orientation." And they're like, "Okay, well, we'll just wait for the results on this background check to come back." And they're like, "Yeah, you didn't pass the background check that you already passed."
Cool
was
story.
Bullshit, dude.
So what's the contest?
I don't know.
Because I want.
Push-ups or something.
Hey,
it's got to be a battle of wits. It's got to be like they do. It's like what they do at the fucking universities where it's like, oh, there's athletics, there's wits, and then there's like other shit. You know what I mean?
This
What's
is actually,
that?
we need input from the viewers on this.
There's got to be like
Oh,
a trivia
And what is
section.
it, the academic decathlon? Is that what this is going to be called?
Yeah.
Burning dog poo and the human response. Business ethics.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll have different categories, and it'll be a battle of wits, a battle of brawn, and a battle of, like, I don't know, fucking problem-solving skills or some shit. We could have a cooking segment or some shit.
What the fuck? What is this? I just want you to do a tutorial, but if Josh loses, he has to take his shirt off and do a gore tutorial.
How low do you think I could actually go? Come on now.
It doesn't matter. That shit would go viral, dude. It'd be so. You have to like be so serious about it.
Dylan has to do a Smash Mouth cover.
If I do it, I'll do the whisper scream. You know,
No, you have to do a mosh tutorial. Teach everybody the gay leg.
the gay leg. It's already been done. I think Josh doing a go.
That would be so great. Either that or Josh has to shave off one eyebrow.
No, that's way too extreme.
You're in IT. It's okay.
Love my
That's
eyebrows.
funny. What could the contest be though?
I don't know. It has to be a decathlon. Like Josh said, it has to be wits and brawn.
It's got to be like a trivia, and then like
Yeah.
like a let's see who could do the most push-ups or some shit. But it's got to be like shitty version of it, cause dude.
Because
know.
Josh does no push-ups.
Or pull-ups or whatever the fuck.
We could literally just go out to Vinoy Park and like do a decathlon and film it and then put it on the show, and then we'd have a whole podcast where we don't have to do anything.
See, that's what we got to start doing. We need to start like doubling up on stuff and not air it live.
Yeah, for sure.
That way we can
I think
take
we
some.
do is recorded by Josh, mostly. Ricky says pie eating contest.
Oh man, I would lose.
Well, I have.
Oh, hot dog eating contest.
I have disadvantage. I'd eat
I
like
have
a
an-
hot dog and a half.
Bro, I can eat 100 fucking hot dogs.
I have an inflamed esophagus.
You fucking choked to death.
Beef jerky was worse. I don't want to get fucking ballpark ferns stuck in my.
How exactly did your esophagus get inflamed there?
It's called GERD.
Oh shit, we forgot. Ricky, call in. Call in, Ricky. We gotta talk to you about something.
Yes, Ricky. Good call, Nicholas.
Oh, let me see if I could call him. No, he don't have no.
Oh yeah, you call him.
No. I
Yo,
can't.
Josh, what's going on with our fucking Skype credits? Why are these motherfuckers charging me money?
Why are you asking me, bro?
It's because you got 2 hour
I didn't
fucking
touch it.
shows now.
I didn't touch Skype credits.
Well, no, because I paid. Remember last week I paid the fucking like $2 or whatever the fuck it was. They took fucking $18 out of my account and said I got like a 3-month subscription or some shit.
Oh, good for you.
Did you
Of
say
course
you
it
got a
was
3-month subscription?
I didn't click a subscription.
You
So they
signed-
said I did, but then they sent me an email saying they canceled it. They put the money back in my bank account, and then they fucking took it again.
That's nothing on me. I didn't touch nothing. Oh, hey, Ricky.
Hey, stud muffins.
I'm gonna call you back, honey bun.
All right.
Oh man.
My
Sorry.
beard?
Ricky just called. I'm gonna call him, add him to here. I actually answered the call without you guys. This is
Hello.
force a habit.
Hey,
Hey.
Hello, fellas.
Hey.
the real question here is, how are your fellas?
They're all right. It's been a rough weekend, but
That
I'm on the
fucking
back end of it
sucks.
now.
So what happened to your what was the procedure?
Yeah, vasectomy. It didn't really hurt at all or anything. Like the only part that sucked is when they stuck you with a needle and injected the shit.
Ow.
Yeah.
But yeah, this whole weekend it just felt like my balls have been like in a vice grip, dude.
Oh my god.
Hey, did they go into your stomach and shit? Or are they still like hanging?
What do you mean?
Well, I wore compression shorts, man. I don't know what you're wearing.
Oh yeah, I've been wearing like tight ass like jock straps all fucking weekend.
Dude, I did the jock strap for one fucking night, and I'm like, nope. So I got some
You have to wear a
compression
cone
shorts.
on your head?
Why do you have to wear this tight stuff? Because like if it hangs, it'll like.
Because if it moves, it hurts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Like the right.
But I bought some super gay fucking workout boxers, and I've just been wearing those. It's really ridiculous though.
Are they silk?
Send me a picture.
Bet
Yeah,
we-
they're kind of
I bet-
silky.
I bet Whitney likes them.
Oh, she loves it, dude. She's been telling me to shake my ass and shit. It's been funny.
It's hilarious.
It's over. He's 30 squirts from freedom.
Yeah.
Man, I'm
Yeah.
like,
So no more.
I've never been so happy in my life to be sterile.
Yeah.
That's sad.
How are you sterile? How do you know you're sterile?
You got tested
How do you
before?
think I know I'm sterile? Like, There's only one way to find that out, Dylan.
You got tested?
Nah.
Did you get
Oh, well.
You
don't know.
Did your mom give you a vasectomy when you were born?
Maybe, probably.
Give him a vasectomy and a circumcision.
Vasectomy at birth.
It was funny that I called Dylan on Friday because I was all fucked up from the medicines that they gave me. And I couldn't figure out how to ice my balls.
You see where they cut it now, though?
Hmm?
You see where they cut it now in the front?
Oh, yeah. It's pretty
Weird.
wild, man. I got super glue like all over my balls and I can't get it off.
Hey, so, never mind. Never mind. So, did you nair or shave?
Oh, I took the trimmer to it. I didn't shave, but I took the trimmer to it.
Yeah, shaving seems kind of scary.
So you
Yeah, I'm gonna put a razor down there.
You're gonna get a fucking vasectomy. Nothing seems scary.
Yeah, but a razor blade.
Get out with a straight razor and just.
No, fuck that, man.
Oh shit! Is our live fucking up for anybody else, or is it just me?
I can't check because
Oh no, I think it's still going.
it should.
Ricky, what time
Hey,
is
but
it
Nick.
there?
Yeah.
It's like 8 something. But you should check out this band called Say Arce from Chicago. They used to be in this band called Mathcore shit now. You should check them out and try and get an interview with them. It'd be fucking awesome.
Piglet.
No, Say Arce is their new band. Piglet broke up.
Dude, Piglet's
Send me a
dope.
You know Piglet, right, Josh?
Fuck yeah. I
Yeah.
still got that fucking
They're
CD that Kyle gave me.
Yeah, check out their new band, man. It's really good. It's
Heard.
more metal shit, though.
Right on. Try getting a hold of them.
I love that
See what's
instrumental shit.
Yeah. That'd be cool, though.
Shit. But well, I'm sorry to hear about the super glue all over your balls, Rick.
Yeah, but
That's
no
all
more.
good, man.
But the good news is no more condoms. Yay.
Yeah.
You got 3
I'm
months,
looking
dude.
forward to that. I know. Well, I got 2 months until I get my checkup. But I'm going out to sea soon anyway, so it doesn't matter. Y'all are going to lose a viewer for a month.
Oh no.
We can't afford that.
just have Whitney log on to your account and sign on.
Yeah, that works.
Tell Ryder
I'm
to
too-
watch our show.
Hey, Ricky, what contest do you think us three should be in so we can get Nick to do a gore video on
I don't-
tutorial?
I don't know, man. I've been thinking about it, and it's there's so many options, but none of them are really coming to me. I feel like you should have like Wes write questions and have him call in and like quiz y'all.
Oh my
Like a game
god.
show.
Who's that guy that does the debates? Josh?
You asking me? Fucking
The
Anderson
guy that
Cooper?
narrator at the debate or whatever.
Anderson Cooper?
Yes. he can be our answer.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that because Josh will win.
No, but we'll do trivia about our lives.
Josh has Google.
No,
He Googles shit while we're not paying attention.
I would never.
I
would never.
If
Cheating is not fun.
If it involves Josh taking off his shirt and doing a gore tutorial.
I think, all right, listen, I think the core tutorial should be Josh's. And I think that I should have to do the meditation with Megan.
No,
you
don't
like
get to choose.
you
You
like
do
that
next
shit.
week anyway.
You like that shit. You have
Yeah,
to sing.
that's something
You
I
have
wanna
to sing
see.
a
I wanna figure
cover.
out this hand enlargement.
You have to sing a cover of Band of Horses. That's what you have to do.
I have to play my proposal video.
Did you get a video?
Yeah.
Yes.
To see it.
Aw. She cry.
Yeah, she called me bawling her fucking eyes out.
Who, your mom?
Yeah.
I just imagined your mom being like, "What the fuck, Nicholas?"
No, she was like, "You're the only romantic boy I ever raised."
Poor Corey.
What the hell's Corey up to nowadays?
Living in a trailer on somebody's property. He's working at the shipyard.
That's good.
Brittany's working at Sally's Beauty Supply.
Oh, they're still together?
Yep.
Are they married?
He gave her a ring. They never got married. They were laying in bed.
Yet?
They were laying. Yeah, they got a kid.
He's just like, here,
Really?
take this.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. He was laying in bed with her and like threw her a ring.
Band of horses.
Whatever, dude. I got her
really-
a black diamond, bro.
I
Black.
was really hoping the song was gonna be sick. Captain, I'm your captain.
That's not six. That's Grand Railroad, bro.
Oh yeah, you're right. My bad.
I have a Grand Funk Railroad tattoo.
Do you really?
Yeah, my entire shin. It's a big lighthouse, and it says, "I'm getting closer to my home." I used to make
Oh,
Ricky
yeah.
play that song for me while I was tripping on Robitussin.
Good
That
times.
song is forever.
You remember I'm Batman?
What?
You don't remember that? Mark Clark
No.
was driving us around one time.
Oh. Yeah. We're in the backseat of Mark's Mustang, and fucking like the exhaust from the car, and like Ricky and I were tripping, and Ricky had like a shadow on his face, and like he just like he looks at me, he's just like, I feel like Batman. And I looked at him, and he literally just looked like Batman. See, when Ricky and I trip, we have like a weird connection to the point where it's like we will see the same shit that each other sees if we talk about it, and like feel the same feelings and shit. It's really strange.
Isn't that like a
Good old
parallel
days.
universe?
A unihorse?
A parallel universe.
Universe.
Yeah, parallel universe where Ricky and I share a brain.
Where two become one. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah.
All right, well, I need to go to bed, guys. When he's gonna get mad at me, and I gotta go to work tomorrow.
Night,
Yeah,
night.
Me too.
I gotta wrap this up here too.
It's your first day back, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, good luck, dude. Take it easy.
Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
we just want to call in and check on your boys. Make sure you're all right.
All right.
All
I appreciate
right,
it,
Ricky.
guys.
Stay safe, brother.
Yeah, have a good night.
Later.
Yep.
See ya.
All right, fellas. Well, this
Seriously,
is enough for the
think
fucking-
about that. Think about that fucking contest.
Yeah, dude, it's going down, and y'all are gonna lose because I'm gonna make Josh take his shirt off and do a vocal cover.
We gotta find something for Dylan to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna think about it all fucking week, man.
Let's open the show next week with the contest.
Nah, we have to have one more show in between so people can weigh in on it.
Yeah, we need more
What?
planning too.
Plus, y'all never respond to me during the week when I try to get a hold of you.
I do. I'm just fucking busy, man. Leave me alone. Hate you. Hey,
Hey.
hey, baby, come in my office.
All right, guys, I love you. Hey, wait, before we go,
No, I'm fucking gone.
Dylan, fix the car this week.
Again?
Yes.
He ain't got no fucking money for me to fix it, so I don't know why he wants me to come over there.
You're gonna be like,
We'll
you
still
need
get
you need this,
$500.
this, and this. I'm like, well, I ain't got that.
I'm getting $500 tomorrow.
Workers' comp.
Damn right. So whenever you have a day off or whatever, let's square something up because I'm not doing anything.
All right, I'm off tomorrow, Tuesday, and Friday.
I'm gonna play this
Come over
out.
tomorrow, Tuesday,
I'm
Friday,
gonna,
then.
play this video.
Oh, what's the video? I can't see it.
Looking,
It's the Tower of Rome video.
yeah, Tower Run.
I thought it was gonna be gay. I thought it was gonna be gay legging or something.